Hello everyone, welcome back to The Sea Will Claim Everything. If we look at our list of quests, it looks like there's not really that much more to go. We have basically the main quest left. We've done all our exploring, we've probably visited all the libraries and read all the book titles. So this may be our last episode, this one or the next one. I'm excited, I've never finished this game, and I'm interested to see how it's gonna end. Well, we have a quest. We have to go through. Medusa may know where to find one. Okay, I don't remember finding Medusa, but perhaps on the Isle of the Stars in Sadaka. Oh, who are you? I don't want to talk to anyone. They tell me he was found in the desert near the gate. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't even know if it's true. You can't trust them, you know? They say they're safeguarding the revolution, but I don't think anyone feels safe. Them, the guards. The guards say they're safeguarding the revolution. Nobody feels safe. Yeah, you can't speak out loud very much here. Looking to see if I missed any items. I know I'm missing one item. A lizard! Murder! I'm sorry, I don't know how to help you. Maybe you should look for clues in the desert? Anybody else have new things to say? I think we've exhausted most of the dialogue options. That's a good sign. It means we are getting close to the end, I think. Of course, the officials are not going to be any help. What do you say about the Isle of the Sun? I really should go there again. Last time I was there, I had this sticky triangular sweet full of cream. It was incredible, but I forgot to ask what it was called. I hope they still have them. I know a lot of Athonian shops have been forced to close. Clearing out. What do we need for the carpet? Well, maybe we just have to get there eventually. Mr. Toast! Sinjil-Agidius. Yamat Sinjil-Agidius? The Sinjil-Agidius? One of the 14 legendary desert shamans? Wow! His book on the uses of healing and magic is incredibly indispensable. I wonder if that was one of the books we read. Without it, I could never have figured out how to heal Jin Diaroa. And believe me, the world is a better place for that. You've never seen so much ectoplasm. Is this supposed to be diarrhea? There's an extra O in there. Alright, nice to talk to you again. And you? What of beauty? One of the most appalling things about Lord Urizen and his great machine is that people have come to associate mathematics with a cold, hollow view of the universe. Nothing could be further from the truth. Mathematics is the very incarnation of the exquisite beauty of our world, allowing us to see the manifold patterns of the sublime. The more one studies, the more one is capable of perceiving the infinite elegance that underlies everything, even Lord Urizen himself. Aw, yeah. That reminds me, one of my favorite portrayals of mathematics is the cryptics from the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. They're creatures that are basically manifestations of mathematical principles. And they're, I don't know, they're very stereotypically nerdy, but also very alien because they're personified concepts. Yeah, that really is a good series to read, the Stormlight Archive. The first book, The Way of Kings, is one of my favorite books of all time, definitely. It does kind of fall off from there. The first 3 books are great. 4 and 5 are a little iffy. But you know, if you've already gotten through the first 3 books, they're each like 300,000 words long, then you can get through 4 and 5. Good day, traveler. When there is great unhappiness in the world, philosophy is invaluable. If the cause is obvious, some disaster not of our own making, then philosophy allows us to ask, how do we find meaning in the face of this tragedy? But when the cause is hidden, it allows us to ask, why is this happening? Why are we poor if there is so much wealth? Why are we hungry when there is so much food? Instead of blaming ourselves or fate, we can investigate the nature of the world we live in. Very true, very wise. Sup. Okay, we need to go through this. This is the gate, right? We're now in the desert. I have wandered to the oasis. Oh, there was a clue somewhere. We have to go through a gate with something. What's up? Once people go, okay, if I can show you the way. I can't get there yet. Once you are within the cave, seek the silence. Okay, somebody said something about walking through an archway. I can't go in there. Do we have... what potions do we have? Flat potion, goth potion. We have hair of the dog. Homebrewed Sapporo. So many tokens. Potion of Awakeness, we don't need that one. Potion of Frubble and Zibble. It's so Dr. Seussy. Weird potion. Okay, so we don't have any blindness potion or anything. So I gotta figure out what to do next. Neve in the Hills of Helios. Can't travel from here. That was weird. Helios. Isle of the Sun, Hills of Helios. I guess we just haven't been there. Let's go to the cliffs. We haven't been here either. When there's a strong wind, these flowers can take off and land anywhere they want. Nice. Orthros once peed here and a two-headed flower grew. Who's Orthros? This flower's enjoying the gentle wind from the sea. Oh, sorry, you startled me. You, Nulis? It's not safe in Athonia anymore. Mayor Cranion said we're in danger of anarchy. I'm scared. Oh, anarchy is not what you should be worried about. By the way, do you even know what anarchy is? Anarchy... There's the state of anarchy, which is when there is no rule of law. And that can be dangerous, because there can be people who jump into the power vacuum. But there's also the principle of anarchy, which people live by, even when there are governments and corporations and other powers. Which is the principle of, what's it called? Helping each other. That's not what it's called, but that's basically it, you know. Living in a community and helping each other and not worrying about being paid back and... you know, and doing that for strangers as well as friends. So there's positive and negative views of it. So just saying anarchy is bad, no, that's propaganda. Athanasia, she's crazy. Her head is full of radical ideas. She doesn't understand how quickly civilization can fall apart. Soon we'll be at each other's throats, the streets burning, children being sacrificed to dark anarchist gods. Oh my goodness. You're in a nice, peaceful place here. Take some time to rethink your life and your beliefs. Hills of Helios. Old tree. This tree has stood here for more than 2,000 years. It's older than many legends that you would consider ancient. Like Jesus. Like Roman Empire. Wow, that is a very long time. Let's hope the new mayor doesn't chop it down. Tourists are often surprised to see cactuses growing on the Isle of the Sun, but they are indigenous. These flowers share a complex root system and a simple description. Never trust these trees. Yeah, the more we go out, the less detail there is to examine on each screen. Toilet paper, the astute camper's most important resource. Terrible things have happened to reckless fools who did not take enough with them. A tripody stool. Tripody is a word now. Magical radiation in Mechana Wizardry. Moab is my wash pot too. Wash harder. The remains of a meal involving corned beef. Ant poo is great for making fires with. This box contains supplies. It's almost empty. This box contains soil and water samples. A zinc lantern. Are those real? There's nothing here except a sleeping bag in there. I guess we're just going past it. Hello! You found Neve! She appears to be unharmed. She has tentacles for hair. This flower had an affair with a botanist once. It ended with some kind of pun. Man, after all this time exploring the entire world, we finally found her. It was our first quest, I think. The smell of these flowers is said to make goats sneeze, but only on Sundays. Hello. Hi. Tell me about yourself. I'm okay. There's nothing to worry about. Though it's very sweet of the to send you. But he has enough on his mind. He doesn't need to worry about me. I'll be home soon. What do you think of the? Has he told you the story of his name? No, I should have known. He doesn't want anyone's pity. Worries about being seen as one of those people who use their personal tragedies as rhetorical tools. But it's worth knowing. I'll tell you on the way to Underhome. Hills of Helios. A beautiful area, isn't it? We came here with the a few years ago, spent some weeks camping under a tree and cataloging the wildlife. That was one of the most romantic times in my life, I think. Love, science, and sunshine. What else do you need? That does sound pretty good. Readings. I like to analyze the data further before I can be certain, but it looks like Lord Urizen's ship is leaving quite a trail of pollutants, both magical and otherwise. If just one ship can do so much damage, I shudder to think of what will happen if his proposals about new factories and mines and shipping lanes are implemented. The technologies he is using may be profitable, but they're ridiculously primitive and destructive. Mananan. My grandfather? I don't know how to help him. I tried to talk to him, but his despair runs so deep. I don't know if there's anything anyone can do until the world changes. Translator. Oh yeah, Mananan must be the old man in the inn. Translator. Black, I'm sorry, it's broken. I tried talking to a polyphonic skrigfish and it just couldn't handle the input. I'll repair it as soon as I'm back in Underhome. Help. I could certainly use your help. The pollution and magical disturbances I came to measure are far more widespread than I thought they would be, which is why I've taken so long. If you could nip over to a couple of places and take readings for me, I'd be very grateful. Here, I've set up the quadricorders, so all you need to do is press a button. I need readings from Thera Beach and Mataki Beach. They're on opposite sides of the aisle. Alright, cool. We've got a quadricorder. Quadricorder. A very complicated device for scanning any kind of environment. Don't mess with the settings. All readings within normal parameters. Don't mind me, I have to stand here and examine what you just gave me. It smells of technobabble. The ionic particle matrix shield prevents you from eating the quadricorder. Oh yeah, that's what prevents me from eating it. The quadricorder detects the mouse's life signs. Alright, is there like a button on here that I have to press? Bye. Well, cool. Got some new beaches. The description for this flower seems more textual than usual. Strange, isn't it? These two flowers smell intensely of magic. This flower couldn't care less. You could swear this flower is looking at you. This flower could care less. Sandberries are prized by children and creative adults as sandcastle decorations. Sandberries on the Isle of the Sun contain actual sand. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how that works biologically. This is a gateway stone. Better leave it alone or you might end up getting into boulders, monoliths, or even hard rock. Oh, we need that though. That's what we need. We just run back and forth across the island really fast. This plant originally grew further down, but after the last storm it decided to move to a safer location. Smart plant, although I'm not sure how you get the roots into that rock. I guess maybe in the side of the dirt. There's a huge toad under this bush. This appears to be a relative of the badkin bush. Getting it at the berries probably requires a very special kind of shtick. Not stick, shtick. That plant is living on the edge. There's a cave in the cliffs. Let's go. Oh, look at the eyes. Like the eyes in Underhome, bringing back nostalgia. These things are capable of growing on just about any surface. This plant is thinking of moving to Thera Beach. This shell contains a hermit crab. The hermit crab wants to be left alone, thus the whole hermit thing. So go away. A shell, it's small, that's about it. Calliope shell. There's a poet crab inside, working on its new epic about Bob the Spider. These plants are debating whether yellow or red is the most natural color. Yeah. This mushroom is a part-time shepherd. Who knows what mysterious beings live in the shadows? Bob the Spider does, that's who. You're being watched from the darkness. Well, that's pretty normal, to be honest. There's always something lurking in the darkness. Watching. Waiting. Mostly cats. It's the common disembodied eyeball, or one of its local subspecies. This bat strongly opposes vigilantism, believing that only through the organized mass action of the proletariat can genuine change ever occur. Clearly a specimen of the oceanic red bat. Hello, Cave of the Cyclops. You must not be the one Odysseus encountered because that one's dead. There's another eyeball plant. There's an enormous one-eyed man in this cave. Why are you examining the mushrooms? You're not nobody. Inspirational poetry. Ulysses by James Joyce. Readable version. The classic novel, the classic stream of consciousness novel that is famously nearly impossible to read. The Odyssey, Facts and Fiction by Odysseus. Platonic plates. Platonic because it's in the cave, right? The water in this watering can contains extra nitrogen, which helps the plant grow. A pitcher and a glass, not for drinking, but for eye drops. Bread and cheese, for when there aren't any sailors to eat. The candle is a traditional Cyclopean delicacy. It all began when tasty explorers carrying candles first entered the caves of the Cyclops. You're not gonna eat me, are you? These mushrooms are distantly related to the Persian longhair. Good day, little one. Vasilis. I am Vasilis the Cyclops. I live in this cave. I lead a simple life with only my pet eyeball George and a few good books for company. There's a crisis. I don't understand you little ones. You're always fighting each other. Relax, live a little. Can we help you? No, I don't need any help, thank you. I just live here. Do you have a token of the Timber Tyrant? Did you know that Timber Tyrant was only a nickname that his enemies came up with? It was just a bad pun, nothing else. But now no one remembers his real name. Ironic, isn't it? So much bloodshed and all that anyone remembers is a silly joke. Seems maybe Timber Tyrant was not so much of a tyrant after all. The eyeball is eyeballing its one-eyed friend. Alright, do I need to open this thing? Luigi's token. Use. Ah. Okay, that's how you use it. Elevated levels of ionic radiation detected. 74 pollutants detected. Alright. That's probably enough. We gotta do the same thing here. 118 pollutants detected. High level of translogic particles detected. Alright, I got your readings. I'm sure you couldn't have run back and forth as fast as I did. No, she's probably doing all kinds of things here. It's two of the same thing. Excellent, thank you very much. Let me know when you're ready to go. Thanks again, this information will be invaluable. Ready, let's go. I like the Isle of the Sun, but I've got work to do, and I've missed my boyfriend. Speaking of which, I could tell you the story of how he came by his name. I think it matters. He was born. Oh, hey. A scene, a cutscene, basically. A slide scene. Though was born to Moira and Robert Mysterious-Druid. Moira lived in Underhome and Rupert was a traveling healer. They met in Port Darragh, which was a very small village then. It still is. They fell in love and were married the following year. Robert taking her name. Another year later, The was born. Okay, maybe not slideshows, maybe just one slide. Can we see the baby? Does the baby have a beard? It is a custom of the people of the Isle of the Moon to hold a naming ceremony for each child, and until the ceremony is held, the child has no true name. It was at this ceremony that disaster struck. The master of ceremonies, who was Moira's grandfather, Rupert, had just begun writing the name the parents had whispered to him. It began with the letters T-H-E. Perhaps it was Theodore, or Theodosius, or Theophilus. But suddenly a terrible sound was heard. It was the island of Caliste, which is now little more than a skeleton. But then there were many towns and villages, and all were lost when the volcano erupted. No one had known what terrible forces lay inside that beautiful island. That's why you gotta study science and geology, and you'll know these things. Moira and Robert knew that a grave danger now threatened the Isle of the Moon. They returned the child to Underhome and made haste for Port Darragh to warn the townspeople of what was coming. They were right. The waters rose and nearly destroyed Port Darragh. Many lives were lost, but many more would have been lost without Moira and Robert. It's said that they raised the barrier of magic to protect the village and beat back the waves. Together they stood in the harbor, holding each other's hands, and it seemed to those who saw them that nothing could defeat their love. I can't switch this during the scene. That's a nice touch. But the sea is ancient and powerful, and we are nothing to it but grains of sand. And so the sea claimed Moira and Robert, as they say it will claim everything in the end. No one ever learned what name the child was to have been given, except the 3 letters that have been written down. Moira's father too was lost, though some say he threw himself into the waves when he heard of his daughter's fate. This... Dude. This is crazy. Doubling up for a joke. His name is the Mysterious-Druid. But the story behind it is lore. Actual cool lore. And so, the child was raised by Underhome and its creatures, who know little of the ways of humans and simply called him the. Later, it became a point of pride and amusement to him, though also a reminder of his loss. That's the story. What matters most to me, of course, is that he became a good man. He became the man that I love. Aha, science! Help Neve with her research so she can go back home. And now we're back here by Underhome, right? Yeah. Alright, is she up here in the house now? Aha! Did she get home? She's home, and I feel a lot better now. Ah, there you go, understatement of the week. She's back! I'm so relieved, not because I thought anything bad happened to her, mind you, but because we could really use her help around here. I mean, both the and I already have our hands full, and there's some stuff that Neve is just much better at. Did you know she has a PhD in Wonder Mechanical Engineering from Wonder Opus University and a PhD in Metabolical Hyperscience from the University of Southern Belzund? No, I didn't know that. That sounds impressive. Maybe it is. I'm glad she's back, though I'm unsettled by how much damage is being caused to these islands. What is it with this Urizen fellow anyway? What's his problem? He just wants to own stuff and wants to have the power over other people. Wants to have the ability to make other people suffer. I'm glad that Neve's back, but those readings worry me. Pollution is a serious problem. Have you heard of Lagonia, the city of rabbits? It's been dead and abandoned for a while, but before the end they were pretty much drowning in poo. And it's not like poo recycling technology doesn't exist. Underhome can recycle poo just fine, for example. All they need was some good druids and some decent biotech. But the government was full of poo denialists who claimed that poo didn't exist, or didn't smell, or in any case wasn't something to worry about. Of course, their belief couldn't stop the great Lagonian poo avalanche. Okay. Is that supposed to be a satire on climate change denial? It's the only thing I can think of. Alright, we gotta find Neva. I know where Neva is. In here. Ah, lots of things to examine. I'm glad you don't have books. They're all in the library. I'm sure you read those books too. A box of self-sealing stem bolts. Wait, that's a Star Trek reference! Yaha! A box of reverse ratcheting routing planners. A box containing the famous retro-styled 8th season of Star Trek, The Next Generation, which was only shown in the lands of Dream. Neve got it from Jean-Luc Picard, to whom she is distantly related. And guys, you have not heard me nerd out about Star Trek. I probably won't. I love Star Trek. It's very inspirational to me, to my writing. Yeah. A bunch of plant fiber cables. A box of nails with rhyming descriptions. These gears are part of a vertex dispenser that Neve is planning to build. Gastronomic gears. It's a continuum transfunctioner. Oh, yeah, I knew that. A modified magnetomic subspace debugger. A grumpy but kind-hearted old mushroom. A middle-aged mushroom. Neve's collection of high-quality mithril tools. An oil can. It's very capable. It can. Liquid objectivism. Poisonous to humans, but sometimes necessary for getting rid of really bad stains. These buckets contain chocolate. It is solidified into very peculiar shapes. Neve's toolbox. Neve's quadricorder. Some brushes. Strangely, they're not blue, and they smell of chocolate. What were they used for? Cooking desserts, maybe? A bucket of blue paint. This brush smells of chocolate and lavender. Is that torch on? Is this a burner that's on? A thermal energy focusing tool. A brief history of what the hell just happened to the universe by Stephen Hawking. Yeah, Stephen Hawking, the physicist who had some disease that paralyzed him, so he spent his life in a wheelchair using a text-to-speech. And he also, at the same time, even when he could not move his body or speak, had a very successful career as a theoretical physicist and wrote some books. Biogenic Circuitry Quick Reference Guide. Stephen Hawking was also a staunch atheist. and contributed to the science-religion wars. An extra long plant fiber cable. This drawer contains a bunch of grocers who were transformed into screws. It's a long story. Bob the Spider is building his new submarine in this drawer. When do we get to talk to Bob the Spider? There's something in this drawer, but you don't know what it is. It tastes of lemon. I don't know what it is, but I know what it tastes like. This drawer contains a variety of small wooden bits. This drawer is full of gas. You quickly close it. I mean, it's not unusual. A tank full of gas naturally produced by... You know what? Let's not go there. What, farts? There's something terribly wrong with the spatial physics of this room. Okay, that capital letters don't spell anything. The basic tools every practically minded scientist needs. A ferromatical drive with an isopalavial interface. A hypersensual overstimulation dampener. Oh. Do you want to, like, put that in a drawer or something? I can pretend I didn't see it. A biophotonic conjugation actuator for couples. A biogenic coil. Growing these can be quite the hassle. There are several chloromicrons in this drawer. I can't get to the thing behind there. This drawer contains power cells with vibrating nuclei. This drawer contains a box of science. There's an unused tachyon in this drawer. Well, how is it still in the drawer? Tachyons can only travel faster than light, you know. This drawer is full of electromagnetic radiation. So is the room outside the drawer. This drawer contains a variety of subatomic particles. And if anyone doesn't know, electromagnetic radiation is the scientific term for light and stuff like light. This drawer contains fresh, well-oiled baryons. This is where Neve stores a spare bracket notation. And no, that is not a horny joke. That is a quantum physics reference. Alright. Got all the thing.
Hello again. It's good to be home.
Tell me about yourself.
There's a lot to worry about, but it feels good to be home again. Thank you for your help.
What do you think of the...
I missed him. He's very stressed right now, obviously, but we're always better together than apart.
Your machines?
Machines are awesome. I love designing them, building them, even repairing them. But the thing about machines is you have to understand how they work. You have to plan how you're going to use them. And Lord Urizen, for all his talk of reason and the great machine that will transform the world, is actually kind of bad at using machines. Sure, some of his machinery is powerful, but it's just so crude. I wonder if somewhere along the line he just lost his enthusiasm, his vision.
What do you think of Eddie?
Eddie's a good friend. He may not be solid physically, but few beings are as solid mentally. You can always count on Eddie. Plus, he's got an excellent sense of style.
What about the foreclosure?
Let me tell you something. If I had been here when those goons came, they wouldn't have left this place in one piece. The is too kind to that sort of people. Always hoping there's a way he can solve the problem without using force. And sometimes he's right, but not this time.
Translator?
Here you go. Good luck. Don't try it on anything that speaks in more than 5 voices or it'll break. And also avoid using it with Dadaists. Whatever those are.
Waha, translator. So now we can talk to creatures. We can go down to the subnana trees. Not in the cellar. In the top floor. There we go, now we can talk to them.
Hello, unsquirrely stranger. You're a great proof.
The translator seems to be having some difficulties, but there's not much that can be done. These creatures simply speak too alien a tongue. How do you like the tree?
The tree has beautiful thighs. We dream it infinite pastures beyond sight like panties. We make bouncy bouncy squeak. Would you like to have a subnana? A subnana you can have. I will not eat this subnana. It is scratched. Ookie ookie. You live in tree. Neve, Squeaky Choo, we like Neve. Her hovercraft is full of eels. She gives us tiki baku choo for breakfast.
Great. We have a subnana. Can I talk to you? Nope. All right. Well, I didn't mean to, but might as well save, right? That is the wrong file. All right, where's our subnana? You poke the subnana, it pokes you back. It smells very subnana-y. The mouse says it already had a subnana this morning. Not bad. It tastes like a banana, but more subterranean. I have another one.
Would like to have a subnana?
Alright, so what do we have to do with this? Gather the ingredients for super recovery. Bring Anaria the subnana. Alright. So we can now probably talk to the dragon. Underhome won't open this door before it's healed and feeling safe again. What else do we have to do to heal Underhome? Oh. I don't know what's left. What do you think of eyeballs?
We grow the best eyeballs here. We get the seeds from a friend of Neve's, Dr. McShellfish, who lives in the Mountains of Oddness. That's where the famous forest of eyeballs is. You know, there's more forests like it, but that's the really famous one. I'd love to see it someday, but if I leave, who's going to take care of the plant nursery?
Neve?
Thanks for helping Neve get back. She's one of the few people who can be trusted to handle the plants here, you know? Unlike those purple creatures from the subnana tree, they once turned a glandular guava into a granular banana by watering it with mutagenic mustard. Mustard! They watered it with mustard!
That does sound bad. Probably. Where's the way out? I don't need to take the way out. Go to Port What about bean soup? One winter, when it was snowing a lot and I was very cold, Neve and the brought me bean soup. Oh, that was the best bean soup I ever had. But when I went to bed, people thought there was a thunderstorm Well, I shouldn't be telling this story. That's fair. Hey, new stuff. Experiments.
I've been conducting further experiments in jellification. I've jellified tuna, rockfish, triggerfish, clownfish, clown, stingray, eel, herring, slaughterfish, rhinoceros, the complete marine discography, rebound electrofish, cliff racer, maybe because it annoyed me. Is that a video game? Barracuda, hokey, monkfish, cod, crabfish, lamprey, snapper, orca, skippyjack, lawyerfish, more accountant fish, hipster fish, thesaurus fish, ape fish, and garlic fish. Okay. I went for a walk in the shadowy glen the other day and it smelled of dog, but it wasn't regular dog smell, which is pretty awful because they don't know how to clean their fur properly. It was nice. Weird, huh? Well, I'll tell you, there's a dog-cat couple on another island. Yeah. What do you have to say about Underhome? Underhome is a wondrous creation, a true marriage of all the great crafts. Even the maker himself would be proud of it. It's shameful to think it might be lost to a bank. But the greed for gold has destroyed many things of beauty, as my people know all too well. I have a thing for you. Subnana. Ah, wild subnana. Oh, this is fantastic. Here, take the token. If you see my mother, don't tell her about this.
What about ookberries?
My esteemed colleague Ookbert Appledorn suggested that ookberries help relax the mind and spur new creative thoughts. Honestly, all I got was the hiccups. But other people like them, so hey, who am I to judge?
Hey, we got another token. I gathered all the tokens. Nothing new. The mouse got any new rumors, oi? A joke? I heard Ian Banks lives in Wonderopolis now, or, well, he was there for a while. Apparently he's been recruited by some kind of secret organization. Oh, is it called? Particular Conditions? You mean, what is it? Extenuating Circumstances? Special Circumstances. Yeah, that's the organization. Something like that. Anyway, he seems to have gone off on some kind of adventure or something. I haven't read any of his books myself, but Eddie is a big fan. Yep, another Ian Banks reference. In real life, he is dead, unfortunately, but he wrote a lot of good books. Jack told me this one. A pirate walks into a bar with a wheel between his legs. Hey, what's the wheel for? The bartender asked. The pirate says, it's driving me nuts. Man, what do you guys think about the crass humor in this game? I feel like it's kind of brutish, you know? It is the stuff that I heard at summer camp, staying in a cabin for a week with a bunch of teenage boys, you know? Alright, where to next? Mushrooms! Have you ever noticed there's a lot of mushrooms around here? Yeah, there's gonna be a mushroom communist revolution. And that's how the game is gonna be solved. Still nothing here. I wonder if that's ever gonna change. You don't have anything. Pollution. Yes, we care about this issue very much. This is why we have pledged that the Port Terrar Golf Club will recycle up to 50% of its golf balls. Yes, you could put a stamp on it that says, sustainable, so that when people come by and they see the sustainable stamp, they won't ask any question. Can I talk to you now? No. Alright, where else do we want to go? Does Tentacle Man have anything? Plural. The plural is octopuses. Only the foulest miscreants would utter the linguistic abomination that is octopi. Alright, I won't say it around you. Where do we want to go next? What do we got? We've got all the Timber Tyrant tokens. We need something, get a sword that can cut through the magical spiderwebs. The dwarves are good at making those. Is there a dwarf in the Isle of the Stars? Can I use the quadricorder? Pollutants detected, error overload. Uh-oh. We better get out of here. Can we go back to... is it here? Yeah, can we go back here and pick up this rock? Gateway stone. But I want the gateway stone. I need it. Oh, Nullis, some news dialogue for you. Oh, thanks. At least I don't have to worry about him. Of course, he still might manage to fall off that cliff, but there's only so much I can do. Alright, we found your friend. Caliste. Oh, you heard about the island that went kaboom? I remember that quite well. It was awful, but sort of impressive. When you see something like that, no matter how terrifying it is, no matter how much you know people are going to suffer, some part of you just goes, whoa! About Underhome. Underhome's pretty awesome. Really sucks that these goons went in there and messed everything up. All the foreclosures are just total bastardiness, if you ask me, but even if Sophia doesn't know how to solve the problem, could try civil disobedience. What about Plato? I'm afraid that boy didn't always listen properly to what I said. A great mind, I would never deny that, but the words he put in my mouth were close to what I said. Not quite the same. I look back at the long legacy we left with pride, but also with apprehension. Maybe Lord Urizen is the philosopher king we spoke of. Wouldn't that be terrible? Ah yes, Plato and the philosopher king. A dictatorship of the philosophers. Hello there, how are you? Refugee? I was talking to Stavros about the history of the island when I suddenly remembered something my mother told me when I was a child. That one of my ancestors was a refugee from Hyperborea. This must have been during the time of the Timber Tyrant, when wars and poverty displaced a lot of people. I wonder who he was, how he felt about settling here. I might even find his address in Wonderopolis, send him a letter. But maybe it doesn't matter. We are who we are, no matter where we came from. Sphinx?
A sphinx passed through Athania a while ago. Very mysterious, always asking strange questions instead of just saying what she wanted. What contains potatoes and aubergines, is covered in cheese, and would go really well with some red wine? I know sphinxes are all about riddles, but how hard is it just to order a moussaka and some wine?
Okay, where else? You have anything new to say? Nope. You have anything new to say? A book? The book you are referring to was accidentally misplaced. There's no point searching for it here, as it was not I who misplaced it, but Lord Urizen's representative, Herr Shandel. You can visit his ship and talk to him if you like, but I assure you that it is better to focus on more important matters. And no, I cannot currently recall the recipe. Why are you so undemocratic as to mistrust my word? You're just using undemocratic as a big word. What about the Oracle? The post-present data are made available to this government by the Oracle has made clear that there is no alternative to the policies we are pursuing. But unlike any other governments which we are critical of but deeply respect, we are employing these methods for a better cause. Our austerity is a progressive austerity which will lead to prosperity, unlike the functionally identical but ideologically different austerity we previously criticized, which can only lead to poverty. Functionally identical but ideologically different. It's still the same thing. What is it? This where is it? No alternative to the policies we are pursuing. That sounds a whole lot like Margaret Thatcher. Being like, capitalism is not only the best economic system, but the only economic system. I'm probably not recalling that right, but it's kind of, that's what it feels like whenever I hear that line. Laziness. I strongly believe that our citizens are anything but lazy. They're hard-working, honest people who believe in the social powers of the market. But they have been let down by previous governments who wasted valuable resources in coddling our citizens with corrupt, inefficient systems. My new government will quash this inefficiency, and anyone who stands against our dedication to radical austerity is clearly a corrupt, lazy traditionalist who cannot cope under the true equality we are bringing about with the assistance of our partner Lord Urizen and his institutions. Yes, yes. Reach the austerity and hard work. The great combo. That, and don't mind the fact that it is allowing those at the top to become filthy, filthy rich. How may I help you? Urizen's great machine is the means by which he transforms the world. Some say it is a reflection of his inner self, but I think it is a distorted reflection of Wonderopolis. Eternal transformation and infinite growth are at the core of that city, at the core of the universe itself, but Urizen has turned these forces into something monstrous. What I frequently wonder is, does he know? Does he believe he is a philosopher king, a bringer of reason? Or does he know he has become a destroyer? His cronies are hypocrites, no doubt. But is there any hope left for the man himself? another question is, does it matter? Got any goat jokes? Nobody likes goat jokes as much as goats do. My father, you know, he used to tell his mother goat jokes all the time. But she, bless her, never knew he was telling a joke, and would nod along with his outrageous stories and say, I heard about that. My father would just bleat with laughter. He loved my grandmother. She was the kindest goat who ever lived, but he just couldn't resist those jokes. Anything new? Crisis?
I have sometimes been asked by the people of the Athania to offer my wisdom to Mayor Cranion and Lord Urizen. If only they had my knowledge of history, people say, perhaps they would act differently. But the error in their thinking is to assume that our poverty means Cranion and Urizen are failing. No, they know very well that to strangle a people with austerity will only cause debt to increase. To destroy a people's ability to trade cannot be a solution to their lack of funds. We are only in debt because what we had was gambled away, and now we are trusting the gambler's advice as to how to gain our money back. We are being swindled. Very perceptive. A lizard in a wall! Which is probably a reference. I think we've talked to everybody here, except you! Alright, so you have to look at me with a mirror. Have we just never been here? A petrified seagull. It happens. Oh, because of Medusa. Fishing boats always look romantic, but fishing is a hard life. Unless you really hate fish, in which case it might be fun in a vengeful sort of way. A coiled rope at night. Cats like to sit on it. But no more, there's now a petrified seagull. With its owner too old and too poor to maintain it, this boat is beginning to sink. Greetings, traveler. Excuse me if I do not turn around. Yes, it is I, Medusa, the Gorgon of so many stories, though as you can see, the stories are, at best, exaggerated, and at worst, invented. Yeah, your head is still on your shoulders. My fame is mostly forgotten now, but there was a time when the tabloids would not leave me alone. Every detail of my life was either observed and distorted, or simply made up. Medusa, is she mistreating her snakes? Is Medusa there harming quarries? Harming quarries? Stoned inside Medusa's drugs scandal. Perseus beheads Medusa, and all that piffle. What is the truth about me then? I'm just another chthonic being trying to find my way through life. I may be prettier than most, but that's not all there is to me. I do turn things to stone, but the effect isn't permanent unless I'm really angry. I thought she was supposed to be incredibly ugly. I guess not in this game. Seagull, he'll turn back in a few days, a week at most. Ophthonia. I have some family in the area, but the real reason I came here is because the people are so down to earth. They just don't care that I'm a celebrity. They do like to gossip, but somehow it doesn't matter that there are all these stories about me. I'm just another citizen, no more respectable or special than anyone else. The only one who treats me differently is the mayor. What about the harbor? I like standing here, watching the waves. It looks like looking at eternity. Oh, that must sound very silly. I guess sometimes I do sound like a celebrity. What do you think of the Oracle? Mayor Cranion announced that his very unpopular policies here on the island are based on advice from the Oracle. It's destiny, he says, and everything else would lead to our destruction. I don't know about you, but that sounds an awful lot like something from a tabloid to me. Timber Tyrant? No, that doesn't ring a bell, but history has never been my strong suit. You have a Mnemosyne shell? Oh, Borin, such a sweet man. We were together for a while, you know. Dwarves can't be petrified, supposedly, because they were shaped from the stone itself. But I'm being a silly old woman again, talking about the past. But then, it's all about the past, isn't it? A Mnemosyne shell allows you to hear the sounds of your past. You might be able to find one Coakley Beach. I'll mark it on your map. The shell you're looking for is round and slightly purplish.
Zappa. I don't remember that.
Did you know I once toured with Frank Zappa?
Is that a real-life musician?
That's how famous I was. We even collaborated on an album cover with the live album of our tour. It was called I'm Literally a Rock Star. The final show was in Billion Toad City. Oh, my dear, I'm afraid it's impossible to describe what it was truly like. And Frank, what a mind, what a spirit.
This idea of the lands of dream is really cool. Because we're seeing characters from fiction, characters from real life, things all mixing together here. And then, of course, animal people and Capital Volume 8 or whatever. Books that were never written but exist here. I guess I just never went there. Or maybe I did. No, that's the port. I guess she wasn't here at the beginning. We got a new place to go. There, Coakley Beach. Let's try the quadricorder. All readings within normal parameters. This one? This shell once fell into hell, but it turned out well. I guess we can move. This plant is called Oliver. So is the scientist character in my book. These are not the shells you're looking for. These are not the shells you're looking for. Thousands of tiny crab-like insects are eating the seaweed off the shell. 2 petrified shells that are stuck together. You wonder how old they are. A polyp of the horrendous face-eating jellyfish. Uh-oh, better squish it. A radioactive bivalve shell. Its half-life is surprisingly long. That would be why the readings are all within normal parameters. If its half-life is long enough. It looks a bit like a Mergelfnarg shell. Seaweed shells and some kind of goo whose origins you almost certainly don't want to know. Okay. That's gotta be a reference to something, right? Why would crabs make those noises? The mussel that this belonged to was called Gordon. Strange name. Hey, it's the exoskeleton of a dead invertebrate. Isn't that a romantic and beautiful? A crab stole this shell's description. This shell belongs to a hermit crab. The remains of a sea urchin. Don't worry, it died of natural causes. The shell of a Vlanalkian nut mussel. This was produced by Cthulhu's pet catfish. Ah. Nice. This shell exploited Ogoni people and killed Ken Sarawiwa. No, wait, that was the other shell. That's gotta be a reference. These shells are covered in broccolitic algae. Like broccoli. To you, pretty shells. To an octopus, the remains of a meal. To a mussel, a murder scene. This is the one. A Nemosine shell. A limpet. A tiny rock snake known for its enthusiastic efforts to become a musical star. A lecherous limpet. A melpomene shell. The poor mussel died a tragic death. This shell smells of peanuts. Sally the hermit crab has already claimed this shell. Nothing interesting here. Well, a tiny insect that looks a bit like a miniature lobster is eating some algae. That's about it. You don't need these. You'll just carry them around in your inventory for months until they break. Everything is covered in slippery algae that smells of peaches. Well, at least it doesn't smell bad. A dead mollusk. A very smelly shell. This shell sort of looks like an ear, doesn't it? I suppose so. Weird sea stuff tends to accumulate around rocks. Alright! Time to go back to the dwarf. That's the wrong one. Oh, we can go to the ship now. Here you go. Can you have a sword? I can hear the wind, traveler. I can hear the wind as it blows in the gray mountains when the moon is in the sky and the rivers glow like silver on the far plains. I can hear home. Thanks for the sword. You got a magical sword. All right, let's shuttle ship. Let's go to the Timber Tyrant. Feels like we're getting close to the end. I wonder if going to the ship will finish the game, if the rest is side quests. We're in a petrified forest, that's it. Let's go in, yeah! Okay. I missed whatever text was there. Hello? It looks dangerous, but maybe it's not. Maybe you can just walk past it. Talk to it. It looks extremely evil and extremely hungry. This blue mushroom couple is good friends with the hand. The amazing thing about mushrooms is that they will grow just about anywhere just to show off. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's no game overs in this game. Ah! Better not. Ancient tomb tunnel, that was frightening. Alright, is there a new one? Find the treasure. Find the way past the big scary hand monster in the tomb of the Timber Tyrant. Probably have to talk to characters again about that. Alright. Where else do we want to go? Do you have anything to say about the hand monster? What about cats? I scared of kittens. They can have secrets. Henwin. Oh, Henwin. She was Bonbon's mother, you know? She was a wild spirit. I literally came out of the sea one day just like that. When I was taking a walk by the northern shore. She stayed with me for some time, but then the horizon called to her. She left for Wonneropolis. So, sometimes I think... Well, nice. Where did we decide we want to go? We want to... What else? Dragon. We want to go to the dragon. Alnion. Hello. Milish greets you, tiny creature. What can Milish do for you? Milish is a big rock-eater dragon. He likes to eat rocks. He eats lots of rocks, and then he sleeps. Then he wakes up again and eats more rocks. But Milish is very young. He turns 900 next year. Yes, very young. Very young. Not even half the age of that one tree. Milish likes all kinds of rock. Big heavy boulders go well with crunchy gravel. Eat moss-covered rocks afterward for digestion. His favorite meal is walls. Sometimes he nibbles walls all day, then he is not hungry at dinner time. Milish is silly sometimes. Alnion. Or is it Mylish? Mylish didn't drive the people away. The village was empty when Mylish found it. Everyone gone. Yummy, yummy walls left behind. Mylish doesn't know why. Mylish just likes to eat. Do you have wisdom? Mylish knows a bit of wisdom. He can tell you, be nice to people. Don't think you're better than everyone. Enjoy yourself, but don't be greedy. Never eat a rock bigger than your own head. All very wise things. Can you give me a tooth? Mylish is not 1,000 yet, so he still has his rock teeth. They fall out and grow new ones. Mylish can give you one. Here. Yay, dragon tooth. It's very pointy. This nail dislikes the non-unification of the word fail. Alright. We gotta do something with that. Dr. Crustum. Alright. Dr. Crustum is in Isle of the Stars. Let's go to the ship. Shadow ship. Oh, a robot with an assault rifle or something. I don't know my guns. A piggy bank? Her Shadle's piggy bank. He has given it the name Angela Ferkel, which doesn't mean much to most people in the land of Dream. An insidious lamp. State your business. Primus. I am a guard. Door. You may enter. But thank you. Are you Lord Urizen? Nope. Herr Schädel. Ja, what do you want? Ich bin very busy. Herr Schädel. I have excellent qualifications for my current position. My Arbiter grade was 1.0. At university, I discovered Beerbetreuungsschleiderstelle mit an emphasis on marketing and management. I've worked very successfully in Vloggen Schlossenberbetizenssertrau in die Unterger Abdeger für Schulsnags until I was promoted to my current position. I believe in order, austerity, and always being on time. What do you know of the Fortunate Isles? The people of the Fortunate Isles must understand that it is that or that. They must understand that the people of Lord Urizen's kingdom cannot keep paying the markets and banks for the laziness of others. We have a saying in my country, work will make you free. This is what they must embrace. You have a book? Nein, I do not have this recipe. You have been misinformed. However, if you fill out this 12-page application for information sending also funding, we can begin an investigation into the matter in the next 3 years. Representative? Certain political extremists have claimed that I do not represent all the people of the holy corporate bureaucracy of Yorn. Shameless comments of this nature only shows the undemocratic perspective of utopian anti-Urizenism. Anti-Urizenism. Oh no! If you're not for us, you must be an anti-Urizenist. Oh, those anti-Urizenists. Man, everybody who isn't a Urizenist is an anti-Urizenist. A castle surrounded by mountains of fire. A photo of Herr Schädel's previous place of employment. Hell. This almost looks like some kind of holographic projection device. Can we get Eddie to come in here and hack the accounts? A best skull of the year cup. An energy drink that contains coffee, red wine, vodka, and pineapple juice. I feel like we've seen that description before. A bottle of pink slime. Gleaming glamorous glasses from the glorious Gluttony collection. Keep your hands off that, that's private property. There is no alternative, peasant scum. Very expensive ink harvested from Mysterious Hamiltoni. Feathers from a hemodynamic harpy. Keep your hands off that private property! One of Herr Schädel's favorite landscapes. Skyscrapers. And they look kind of bland ones too. Moderating the excesses of the lazy. Lessons from the crisis. By you. God wants you to be rich. I feel like that might be a real book. The success system that never fails. Capitalism, stability, and prosperity for all. The Long Shadow, culture and politics in the Fortunate Isles. Green bombs, new methods to stem population growth. What? Deutschlandschaftsstab. This safe contains important pieces of paper. Even just looking at those pieces of paper will cause armed people to kidnap, imprison, and torture you. Keep your hands off this private property. You are searching for something to help. I am programmed to be your enemy, but I am defective. Sometimes I attempt to disarm myself. I have an incorrect aversion to destruction. There is a memory in my circuits, a memory of a flight. The fault has not yet been detected. The recipe you seek was not misplaced but destroyed. However, I have saved this page. Thank you. I am defective. Hey, we got a recipe. Nice. Well, thank you, defective robot. All right, where were we going? We were giving something to somebody. Isle of the Stars? I don't remember. Dr. Crustum. That is right. Is it in here? Yeah. Arterial cleaning device. Ah, excellent. I see you have the dragon's tooth. Remarkable creatures, are they not? Now all you need to do is make the special glue according to the recipe I gave you. Alright. What is the special glue? Where is it? Oh, scroll of recipes. That's what we're looking for. And all this stuff is still here. Not crossed off or anything. Glue. Something green. Repulsive squish leaf. Trout jelly. Essence of Derek. Alright, we gotta... I think we have all those. Up a few floors. No. Up a lot of floors. Was it something green? And then I don't remember. Repulsive squitch leaf and trout jelly. I mean, I probably have the ingredients, right? What is it? Potion of erg. And maybe I don't have it. Oh hey, there's the trout jelly. You know what? Since I discovered that it's different, depending on if you put the ingredients this way or that way, if you switch them around it's different, I'm not gonna bother going for everything. Squish leaf and trout jelly. A potion of erg! Alright, and then what did we need? What did we need? Where is it? There's too many items. Essence of Derek. Potion of erg. There it is. You created glue! Alright, do we need to go back to... Where is it? Drink the potion of change. Okay, potion of change. Okay, big scary hand. Dr. Crustum. I mean, we did bring the dragon's tooth there, but maybe we need to go there again? Alright, click, 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 click. Here we go, running through the town. Excellent work! Now that I have the ingredients, this shouldn't take too long. Yes, attach this properly. Yes, arterial fluids, bit to the left. Here we go. One special arterial cleaning device for you. Good luck. Thank you. Alright, now I give it to the fish, right? Up a few floors. There you go. Ah, this is just right. The doctor you found must be very good. Hold on a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, that was surprisingly easy. Dragon's tooth, this tool will be useful in the future. Thank you for bringing it for me. Underhome's arteries will always be clean and unclogged now. Did we heal Underhome? No. Get a new carpet. Alright, what do we have to do to get a new carpet? Find the Salmon of Wisdom. Let's get the murder. I guess we probably need to do a lot of these things. Potion of change. Do I have potion of change? Potion of Frubble, potion of Zibble. Let's see if the scroll of recipes has a potion of change. Yeah. So we have all the things. Water, Katabatic Kamoon, Mellow Mushroom. To make a potion of Zibble. We might actually have a potion of Zibble. We do. Okay. Add a Tomentous tomato. Make a potion of Frubble. We might actually have a potion of Frubble. But if not, so Zibble, tomato, Frubble, pyrogenic poppy. Salt the taste. Potion of Frubble, pyrogenic poppy. Oh yeah, potion of change. We did it, so we have to drink it. What is that last recipe? So we made dog food, we made jellification, we made flaming cheddar. We did not make finger food, we made everything else. Make liquid finger, liquid cheese, and fantastic feta. Liquid cheese, moon, and fantastic feta. There we go. Liquid finger. You. Let's see if we can. What is it? You can't transform it into dough with your bare hands. You'll need some alchemical devices. It smells like carrots, even though there are no carrots in there. The mouse is too busy to bother with this. Yuck! Glurglebarg. Alright, there we go. And then what do we need to refine it with? Flamboyant flour. Then we have to bake it. Flamboyant flour. Yeah, finger dough. And we don't want to eat it. Kneading the dough is strangely pleasant. It smells digital. The mouse says you should have added more liquid. Okay, we gotta find our way to the kitchen. Here it is. You baked finger food. Looks like fingers. Don't have anything to bake right now. Alright. Now, what do we have to do with that? Did we have to do anything with that? Ingredients for the soup of recovery. But that wasn't in our scroll of recipes, was it? Oh, maybe it was. Soup of recovery. Cook the following ingredients: salmon of wisdom, bacteriolytic barat, hair of the dog, carrot, and leek. Alright, we have some of that stuff. We don't have salmon of wisdom. The quest just says find the salmon of wisdom. So I guess we should just look around on the ocean. I don't know. What else do we have to do? We have to now go to the unspeakable cave. Well, no, we have to go to the pillars of the ancient gate. That may be the only thing we can do right now. So, well, we can examine around various places, I guess. See if there's anything new to find. Looks like nah. Alright, let's go to Sadaka. And now let's drink our potion of change. I think this is the place I'm supposed to walk through. You feel slightly odd. Let's go. I don't know if that was it. I'm here. Unspeakable cave. Okay, that seems to be not it. Stand between the pillars of an ancient gate and walk into eternity. Ancient gate. Well, there's another place it could be. Is it here? That might have been it. Do I need another potion of change? Did I mess up? I mean, we can walk around. Is that an ancient gate? Ah ha ha ha! That was the ancient gate. You stand on a wide beach under a brilliant night sky. The sea stretches before you eternally, reflecting the stars until you cannot tell where one ends and the other begins. A gentle breeze blows. Somewhere in the distance you hear leaves sighing in the wind. To the north is a rough plain. The beach continues to the east and to the west. Oh, Jonas sure likes his text adventures. Not my favorite. The beach ends in a sheer cliff ascending far into the night sky. Its shadow is the deepest black you have ever seen. That reminds me of even the ocean. There's a huge cliff at the end of the world. There's one going up on the north side of the world and one going down on the south side of the world. A small creature, seemingly a fish with legs, has recently crawled out of the water. It sits on the sand near the edge of the shadow, slowly breathing with strangely shaped gills. You notice a peculiar stone half buried in the sand. To the east lies the place where you arrived. Pick up that stone. You take the stone, which turns out to not be a stone at all, but the beautiful and surprisingly elegant shell of an ammonite. Sand trickles out of it. Are those the circular shells with like 5 slots in them? Sand dollars? Is that what they're called? Go this way. The beach goes on for miles. Vegetation is sparse apart from a few spindly plants growing where the sand begins. Small crab-like creatures scurry about in the shallow water, sometimes coming out to wrestle. Their shells gleam in the starlight. The sea is utterly calm. To the west lies the place where you arrived. Ah, so this is the path of Logos, the path of words. Text-based adventure. The plains seem as infinite as the sea. You see nothing except for grass for miles on end. To the east lies a small forest. To the north the plains continue. To the south lies where you began. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, the plains are too vast to be crossed on foot. You stop by an ancient rock that rises from the ground, surrounded by grass, and gaze into the distance. And the text is pretty emotionally evocative. You're surrounded by large, bristly trees of a kind you do not recognize. Small insect-like creatures that resemble scorpions live in their branches. They do not seem interested in harming you. The forest continues to the north, south, and east. Alright, go to the dead ends first. After a while, the forest comes to an abrupt end. The open plains are before you again. You hear the sound of tiny feet running through the grass. Lots of paths. The forest gets thinner again as you approach the beach. A small red crab is sitting on one of the trees, its eye stalks curiously following you. So is this a circle? Looks like it is. On a small clearing in the forest stands an old, wizened man. He is short and thick of build. His head seems roughly sculpted. His eyes are bright and piercing. He is clothed in fur and hide, but on him these primitive clothes seems like a symbols of a great unspeakable power. Speak of the power. He takes the ammonite shell from your hands. Using a small but sharp-looking stone, he begins to carve a hole into the shell. It does not take him long. Take this, he says. Blow it on the plain to make the sound of calling. The swift ones will come to you. Satisfied, he turns around to watch the stars. The forest is becoming thicker here, forcing you to walk more carefully. The trees make strange noises as the wind moves them. In the distance, you can hear the gentle lapping of the waves. There's a strange smell in the air. You come upon an eerie sight. A large part of the forest seems to have been flattened by an enormous wave, leaving behind hundreds of puddles. Wait, waves can... I suppose so. Maybe if it's a big enough wave. Flatten trees? And water does get heavy when it piles up. It's hard to tell what the creature's shape once was. A creature? immense dead creature. Thousands of tiny insects are eating away at its amoeba-like form, but still it towers above you, bigger than a house. The smell is strong and reminds you of seaweed. The forest continues to the west where you came from. Alright, we have to go use the ammonite horn. You blow into the ammonite horn. Its lonely call seems to be lost in the night, but then you hear beating hooves. Out of the darkness, a herd of wild animals comes to you. They almost look like the horses you know, save that they are somewhat smaller and stouter and have white stripes on their reddish-brown skin. They slow down as they approach, and the leader of the pack nods his head at another horse, which comes to stand before you. Zebras? The zebras are white and black, not white and reddish-brown. Mount! You ride all through the night, the plains rushing past you. In the distance you see great cat-like beasts and flightless birds the size of trees, but the horses do not stop. As the sun rises, you approach what appears to be a gray wall stretching from horizon to horizon. At first you think it is small in height, but as you come closer, you realize it is truly gargantuan. Its surface is smooth and cannot be climbed. That's cool. The horses leave, clearly uncomfortable in this area. You stand before the wall, its surface is cold and smooth. The wall stretches to the east and west. Alright, we'll go to the dead end first. You walk beside the wall for some time. Nothing changes. The animals all seem to stay away from it. There's no opening or way of climbing in this direction. After walking for some time, you find a crack in the wall big enough for you to fit through. You hear the sound of machinery from within. A grazing antelope-like creature watches you from the distance, but does not approach. To the east is the place you came from. It's dark. There are machines at every corner, machines on every wall, but you don't know what they do. Many of them seem unconnected to the others. The ceiling drips oil. Ew. Maybe the wall is the boundary of a giant machine. And they're not separate machines, we're inside the machine. Corridors lead off in all directions. You come to a small room. The floor seems to be covered in a sticky oil. A skeleton is chained to the wall. A closer look at the skeleton reveals that he or she is holding a key. You take the key. Looks like it would have fitted the lock that kept the prisoner chained. The walls of this room are covered in wires, haphazardly arranged. Metallic garbage is heaped high in one corner. In the middle of the room stands a rusty iron pillar with a keyhole in it. The crack in the wall is to the west. What happens if I go up? Continues to go. The room with a gate. Alright, probably later. Use key. Somewhere in the distance, something makes a tortured metallic sound. The corridor twists and turns. A machine attached to the wall is slowly shedding its casing. The air smells of gas. To the north is a room. To the south is a crack in the wall. A room with a gate. Everything seems oddly crooked. The gate is open, just far enough for you to crawl through. To the south is a corridor. To the north is another room. Squeeze through the gate. There are 3 mummies in this room, their dried out skin dripping with oil. When you enter the room, they begin to speak, each repeating the same words. "Where has the master gone?" the first mummy says. "He is dead," the second mummy says. "His mind is dead, but his body still labors," says the third. You're in a very long and broad corridor. Assembly lines run down its length on each side, carrying broken machinery. As far as you can tell, the assembly lines just move back and forth without anything ever being processed or assembled. The air seems to be full of coal dust. To the north is a very large room. You come to a vast room, we can't go backwards anymore, in the middle of which stands an incomprehensible machine. It has thousands of gears and levers and pumps, but they're arranged in such a way that the machine is constantly destroying itself. Gears grind against each other at odd angles. Robotic arms bash against their own motors. This is a metaphor for the story that is happening outside. The machine is surrounded by hundreds of mummies, all of them desperately shuffling about. trying to fix it even as it falls apart. One mummy stops and turns toward you. The master has lost his mind, it says. He built the wall to save the plains, but now he has forgotten they exist. The wall has become its own purpose, a growing cancer that will kill the plains as surely as it has killed us. In the distance, you see a light. If you see a light, it is the exit, the mummy whispers. We have no eyes, so we can never leave. Oh, wow, the metaphor here. And thinking back to Talos Principle 2, specifically the audio log where Stratton talks about the city being a machine that needs to be maintained, you know, and extrapolating that to human society should be thought of as, well, can be thought of as a machine that we can analyze and understand and improve and set goals for. You've emerged on the Isle of the Oracle. Can I leave? I don't want to leave. The Isle of the Oracle. Oh, right there. The Isle of the Cirrus. Right. This flower knows tomorrow's weather. This flower knows a secret, but it doesn't know which secret it knows. This flower is called Thalia. A lag bush, eating its berries alters your perception of time in strange ways. I do like the way the trees are drawn at different sizes at different distances. This chameleon is awesome! Isle of the Oracle. A bearberry bush bearing bunches of bearberries. And now they're not even putting stuff to examine in. The Temple of the Oracle. It's pretty and bigger than it looks. Hey, a dragon. Nothing to examine. At all. Just you. If you wish to see the Oracle, you must answer the riddles of the dragon. Answer enough of them correctly and you should be allowed the honor of prophecy. Answer too many of them incorrectly, however, and the dragon's maw shall be your doom. Let us save. Begin. It walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening. What is it? A man, a woman, a human, a were-acrobat. Well, in ancient Greece, it was a man. The 4 legs being crawling as a baby, 2 legs as walking as an adult, and 3 legs as tottering with a walking stick. I wonder if any of these are wrong. A were-acrobat. They come at night with none to fetch them, but are lost at daybreak without anyone taking them. What are they? I don't know, and haven't heard that one. Dreams, maybe? Stars? Clouds? But probably not clouds. Mosquitoes? Stars, I guess. Stars are dreams. I run but do not walk. I have a bed but do not sleep. I murmur but do not talk. I have a mouth but do not eat. What am I? That'd be a river, right? I've heard that one before. I wonder if that was from Lord of the Rings. The more you have of me, the less you see. What am I? Fat. Eyeliner. Darkness. Hats. That'd be darkness, probably. Say my name and I disappear. What am I? Silence. Probably. Good luck. Sunlight. Rumpelstiltskin. I want to do it. I want to. Good luck. Jinxing it. It'd be silence, though. I am full of holes, yet I'm full of water. What am I? A sponge? The Titanic. A sieve in a river. The perforated hole fish. We're going Titanic. If you feed me, I shall live. If you give me drink, I shall die. What am I? A bird. The honor of the gods. fire, cooking. I've heard this one too, it's fire. Fire does not burn me. Water does not drown me. What am I? Brian Blessed. Light. Could be light. Ice. Shadow. It could be any of these. We'll say light. I cannot be seen. I weigh nothing. But if you put me in a barrel, I make it lighter. What am I? Crabs. Scented tissues. The wind. A hole. He who makes it sells it. He who buys it never uses it. He who uses it does not know it. What is it? Self-stealing stem bolts. A coffin. A chocolate egg. The rent. That one will be a coffin. I'm glad it's multiple choice, because if I have to answer riddles like these, I'm not thinking of the answers. It belongs to you, but it is others who use it. What is it? My name, my shoes, my organs, my lawn. There's no text though. Like, we choose the funny ones, we don't get any text for it. It's my name. I am red and round, all around me is yellow. What am I? A metaphor. A tomato in the desert. A colorful cake. Brian Blessed. A tomato in the desert, of course. Sometimes I am full, but I never overflow. What am I? A throne, the sun, the moon, a rock slide. The moon. To have me is to desire to share me, but to share me is to lose me. What am I? Muffins! A pillow, sweat, a secret. The more of them you take, the more of them you leave behind. What are they? Footsteps, beans, words, blue whale. It is light as a feather, yet few can hold it for long. What is it? I wonder if you get enough of them wrong if the dragon makes fun of you. You can hold it. Light, Brian Blessed, breath, a hedgehog. I'm black and round. All around me is yellow. What am I? The shadow of a tomato in the desert. Oil, Brian Blessed, a bat. The snowman fears me. The mountain respects me. Cats sing of me. Who am I? Robert the Bruce, Mary Wollstonecraft, Zathras, Brian Blessed. Oh, this gotta be Brian Blessed, right? I don't know. I have no hands and yet I shake. I have no legs and yet I run. I have no form and yet I can be seen. What am I? Air, the earth, probably the earth. A pudding, some kind of sauce. We'll say pudding. A lord and an emperor I have been, but most remembered as a prince I remain. Who am I? Valerius II, Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, Deus Ventari, Brian Blessed. Valerius? That's a Game of Thrones reference, right? I am wiser than the gods, mightier than the demons. Rich people desire me, poor people celebrate me. Who am I? Brian Blessed. Nothing. Nothing is wiser than gods, nothing is mightier than the demons. Rich people desire nothing, poor people celebrate nothing. Salami. Froghead. Mightiest of the strange stage folk I am. Many pets there are in my garden. My voice shames the angels and some say I am blessed. Who am I? This is getting a bit silly. It's obviously Brian Blessed. Sorry, I get so bored sometimes. Can I go in now? Oh, time to go out. Do it all over again. Hello. Adjutant. Greetings, traveler. Pythia. Once, my temple stood in the mountains, in a place that was called the navel of the world. But now the fair-wrought house has fallen, and the fountains are silent. The voice of prophecy has been forgotten there, and the doom of which I forewarned Lycurgus has befallen all the land. Perhaps one day I shall return, though that I cannot see. Until then, I shall live here where all prophecy is born. There are two roads most distant from each other, the one leading to the honorable house of freedom, the other to the house of slavery, which mortals must shun. Both roads begin in lands of strife and tragedy, but only the first path leads out again. Follow the path of accord and humanity, which is the path of war against avarice and tyranny, if you seek the house of freedom. So yeah, you're telling me to do the opposite of what the Skull Lords are doing. Sorry, I just have to make sure I'm recording because I'm panicking, thinking I'm not. Mayor Cranian. Only one has come to me, and that was many years ago. Urizen was his name, and he sought to know whether his path was wise. I told him that if his path was the path of reason, as he believed it to be, then he would not require my guidance. The path of reason reveals itself to be true by leading us to the city we are seeking. What city is that I seek? He then asked. And I said to him that if he did not know, he could not walk any path. This he would not accept, and left in a cold rage. You are the first to come since then. Who's Delphine? My betractor and companion. Though fearsome in appearance, she is not to be feared by those who mean me no harm. Unexpected error caused your window to be disconnected. Alright, this is definitely in the game. Attempting to restart. Aha, recovery. There we go. Is it working? Damn this interface. Eddie, can you restart the diastic particle stabilizer? Yes, thank you. This is the talking. What the hell are they using? Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Can you set that up? Great. Okay, thank you. I can handle the rest. This will just take a couple of minutes. Alright, we heard the prophecy. Now we're back. We could actually leave. Hello there. About the window. As you saw, it's not as stable as I'd like it to be. Keeping a connection open to your world is an extremely delicate process, and eventually I'll have to step away from these controls and let the window close for good. Eventually, yep. That will be the end of the game. Crash? Someone interfered with your window to make it crash. I am almost certain it was someone working for Urizen, trying to prevent you from finding out what the Oracle had to say. The depths they would lower themselves to in order to conceal the truth. Their tactics alone prove their inability to bring any kind of justice to these isles. Oracle? Just more proof that everything our leaders are doing is based on, to put it plainly, lies and nonsense. It's really about time we stopped falling for it. Yeah. What about the crash?
You know what's wrong with these people? They're shitheads. That's what. Breaking things seems to be their only answer to a problem. Someone saying something you don't want to hear? Break their window. Someone dressing in a way you disapprove of? Break their head. Someone living in a way you dislike? Break their country. Someone chewing the wrong flavor of bubblegum? Break the planet in two. But we'll show them. We'll glue the planet back together using bubblegum, and then we'll dress in all the wrong clothing and live in all the wrong ways and totally ruin their day. Ha! And they'll still be shitheads.
Yeah. You got nothing new to say? Arterial health? Thanks again. The tool is great, and Underhome's juices are already flowing properly again. Prophecies are tricky because prophecies really are stories. Stories are very powerful things, but they're not the same thing as the truth. Some say there's no such thing as the truth, but they're generally the people who don't want you to know the truth, and they're the same people who are incapable of seeing how stories may contain the truth in forms they do not recognize. In any case, be wary of prophets and storytellers. They're important, but also insignificant, which can confuse them, and a confused prophet can be misleading, although Pythia doesn't seem pretty nice. Does seem. Okay. We'll see if Neve has anything new for us. You tell me about the crash?
Typical. Instead of dealing with the facts, they conspired to make sure nobody finds out just how badly they messed up. Of course, since their entire campaign on the Isle of the Sun was based on that one lie, what can you expect? Alright, so we gotta go back to the Isle of the Sun. I think I've been playing a long time, but I feel like we're getting close, right? Maybe. I'm just gonna power through it and see if I can finish it in this one sitting. Even if it takes a couple more hours. Is this the right place? Oracle. False words, as I told that silly boy Plato, are not only evil in themselves, but infect the soul with evil. If we do not challenge what Mayor Cranion is saying, we'll be accepting his words, and they'll infect us too. We gotta spread the word of the Oracle? I suppose it makes sense. Even the most idiotic Oracle would know that tearing something apart and selling its pieces to charlatans isn't the best way of healing that something. Now we just gotta figure out what to do about this moron running our island. Tell me about your new name. Oracle. Or maybe it's a different alternate universe woman every single time. She's like slipping in and out of the portals between visits. There's no such thing as fate. Believe me, people I love sacrificed a great deal to prove that.
I've had enough of Mayor Cranion. I've had enough of Lord Horizon too. And all his cronies. We should get together, all of us in the Fortunate Isles, and kick them out.
Heck yeah. Zucchini?
In some lands they're called courgettes, but that's not a proper word.
Hello. Calispera Traveler. I think we should kick Cranion out, or put him in prison or something, then try to find our own solution. It has to be possible, right? We can achieve so much when we work together, no matter our appearance or background. Our family should be proof of that, so why not do the same on a bigger scale?
What's up? I'm confused. I did not expect our leader to betray us in such a way. I need to think about this.
What's up?
Yes?
Goodbye. I guess we're not gonna tell him about the revolution. How about the Oracle?
I'm not surprised that Cranion would resort to lies to keep us blindly following his self-destructive policies. But now that we have proof, not to act would be a form of suicide.
What do you think?
I think maybe the mayor has a lot to answer for, not to some mystical oracle, to average goats like myself.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I knew it. All he's doing is following orders from Lord Horizon and pretending there's a logic to it, other than selling us out. We can never recover from this crisis with Cranion at the helm. We've got to take back our island.
What's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Oh, that's well, there are so many books that I love. One of my favorites is definitely Athena Reborn, but maybe that's because I know the author. Star Maker probably moved me more deeply than any other book I've read. Blood in the Mist, of course, more or less, the complete works of Henry Trollweather. Dunsany's Letters from the Yan. No, this is impossible. There are too many great books.
I agree. I could never choose a favorite.
Alright, we gotta tell everybody about the revolution. We still need to heal Underhome. Are there other things that are not healed of Underhome? Still need more ingredients. Tomb of the Timber Tyrant. Hand Monster. Investigate the Murder. Salmon of Wisdom. Unspeakable Cave. And a new carpet. Well, let's see. We've talked to everybody, right? Talked to everybody here, not you. Oracle. So I was right?
It did sound like something from a tabloid. Maybe we should put Mayor Cranion where all tabloids belong then, in the trash. Yeah. Going to other places. I didn't vote for Cranion. I thought it was too radical, but now that he's saying the same things as the previous mayor, I think there must be something true about all that. If we don't do what Lord Urizen says, we'll be plunged into anarchy. But the Oracle. Oh, I don't really understand these things. One Oracle says this, another says that. I just think we shouldn't be too radical, you know? We might lose everything and end up living like animals in the wilderness. What, like you are right now? Alright, anything else to find? No, I don't want to go through there. Anyone standing here? Alright. Where do we want to go? Guineas Island. Isle of the Cirrus. You can just go here now. Can I talk to you again? It's nice of you to visit me again. Sadly, I have little news to share. The future is unclear. Dream? In the end, prophecy is but a dream. It is not bestowed by divinity, but springs from the divine in all of us. The imagination, which reaches across time and space. Alright, I guess we gotta just keep walking around until we find something new. What if we use the quadriporter here? Reading is normal. Back to the Isle of the Moon. Anything else from our friends over here? What about the Oracle? Papa knows about the future too. Papa let you know when it's time to go to Wonderopolis. Ha! That Cranion is no better than our own mayor. They'll say anything to stay in power if you ask me. And come to think of it, what else can they do? They have no craft but statecraft. Starcraft. In a true democracy, they'd have to do real work like the rest of us. You have anything to say? Delphine. Ooh, Mylish is a bit scared of her. Okay. Port. Nothing new for you? Nothing new for you. Oh, Oracle. I'm sure this Pythia individual is not the expert the male Cranion consulted, but merely some awful and impolite impostor. That she lives in a temple, is guarded by a dragon, has visionary powers, does not mean she is an oracle.
You found a way to the Isle of the Cirrus, an impressive feat, and even better, you revealed Mayor Cranion's deception. Aye, that's what I call a good day's work.
Can't tell the Dudachum about the Oracle?
Greetings, traveler. May I interest you? If I lived on the Isle of the Sun, I'd go to Mayor Cranion's office and slowly nudge every single thing off his desk.
Still nobody there.
Well met, traveler. There's a word in my people's language for something with so little honor that they have to hide behind lies to achieve their goals. Saying it might damage your window. May Cranion end his vile career did, brought down by his own villainy.
Gotta be a Lord of the Rings reference.
Hey, Governor Traveler. It worked! I'm growing a subnana tree. No matter how many times I see it, the birth of new life amazes me.
Maybe this is a sign of hope.
Yes. Hi there, how are you? So, Mayor Cranion claimed he was being guided by the Oracle, but actually he was... what exactly was he doing? Why'd he break his promises if it wasn't necessary? I don't get politics. Wouldn't it be better if we just, I don't know, decided what to do together? There has to be some way to figure this stuff out, no?
Very hard to do, especially in large amounts of people. That's why we have representatives.
Ridiculous. Mayor Cranion is like a physician who has no faith in his medicine.
Any rumors?
A little bird told me something.
Never trust little birds. So, when Mayor Cranian was saying he had no other choice, he was basically just making it up? I'm sure the people of the Isle of the Sun will be pleased to hear that. Aw, yeah. Getting all the people to be like, yeah, we can solve our own problem. But not you. We can go to the lighthouse now. Lighthouse man.
So Mayor Cranian is a liar, eh? I'm hardly surprised. Once long ago, when I was but a deckhand, I served under a captain who claimed to be guided by a higher power. Now it is true such people exist, but their souls are full of pain and joy and longing. This man was driven only by the profit he hoped to make in secret, without the knowledge of his crew. Suffice it to say, it did not go well for him, and I suspect it will not go well for Cranian either.
Alright, that is everybody here so far. We still need a way past the hand. Can I talk to you? You give the monster some finger food, it eats. We give it the finger food, it seems contented. We made it through. A magical fire.
Halt! Who goes there? None shall pass unless they have the 7 tokens. So it was written, so it shall be done. Only when the 7 families have all decided to open the tomb and all the tokens are placed within the fire shall I open.
You place the tokens in the fire. Thank you. Hey, look, it's gold. The stories were true! Here, deep under the petrified forest, an invaluable treasure lies waiting. The spoils of war from 100 fallen kingdoms, ready now to serve a better purpose. Perhaps now, finally, there can be some redemption for the Timber Tyrant. If only by a historical accident. In this room lies a new way forward for the people of the Fortunate Isles.
I'm sorry to interrupt your utopian thoughts, but you're standing on private property. I purchased the petrified forest several weeks ago, and would now like to do some redecorating. Please get out of the way.
Ah, of course. You purchased it from whom?
Thank you. My employees will now remove these objects of archaeological interest and place them in my private smeltery. Collection, where they will be safe from those who lack the means to properly preserve them. You may have another look around if you wish, but please leave my property after that. You're trespassing. I don't want to be forced to use crude force to uphold the law.
Hello. There's a person here. The glory of the tyrant is all past. All that remains is a lump of rock. Alright, we made it through. And the rich stole everything. We talked to everybody in Underhome, right? Desert Bridge. I read a book about a place called Desert Bridge. Apparently it's just this ancient bridge standing in the middle of a desert. No one's quite certain where it came from, although there's some fascinating theories connecting it to the War of the Timber Tyrant. Sounds beautiful, but eerie. I watched Andrei Tarkovsky's Wonderopolis trilogy, and I think I need to watch it again. I've never seen anything like it. The third movie's set completely in the Shadow Quarter, you know, filmed on location. Brando plays a crow who has visions of the apocalypse and goes to a doctor, played by Richard Biggs, who sends him on the strange quest through the oldest parts of the city where he meets Thespis of Icaria, playing himself. And, well, I shouldn't tell you the whole story. Is this a reference to a real movie? Neve's back? I'm glad she's back. Now I have someone to play Druidism the Reaping with. I mean, I could play with Eddie, but I like to at least stand a chance, you know. Eddie is unbeatable. And Melchior just doesn't like the game. He has some really complex explanation for why it's badly designed, but I never fully understood it. Neve, on the other hand, she just plays and enjoys herself. Alright. What do we have left to heal Underhome? Nothing left for you. Treasure.
Penglog just doesn't want a solution. That's what it is. Can't offer us a solution because he doesn't want to solve the problem. He created the debt, and now he'll benefit from it while the rest of us lose everything. We let him, that is.
What a bastard! Things are wrapping up. I've always thought that the only wealth that matters is wealth that is alive. Things that are used, places that are inhabited. What's the point of a pile of gold? It's not feeling safe again. This is probably the end of the game, if I have to guess. Oh, Eddie got smashed over here, it looks like. Alright, what do we have left to do? Unspeakable Cave. Find the Salmon of Wisdom. I don't remember who talked to us about that. Why do we need a Salmon of Wisdom? Ingredients for the soup of recovery, including Salmon of Wisdom. Investigate the murder. Alright, let's go back to the Southland. And while we're talking to people, let's look for mentions of Salmon of Wisdom. Or maybe we can go back into the desert and find the bridge after talking to that eyeball. Be welcome in my tent, friend. You don't have Salmon of Wisdom on there. Oracle? Unsurprising. The wisdom of true oracles, and Pythia is one, rarely supports the delusions of the powerful. Treasure? Have you ever wondered where this debt comes from? Why all 3 mayors refuse to release any information about its origin and makeup? If the debt truly is legitimate and not a political tool invented to usher in a new age of cruelty, why not encourage an investigation into the nature of the debt, as Mr. Cranion himself once promised? If you ask yourself these questions, you'll understand why no treasure could ever solve the problem. Yeah, we saw a bunch of gold and I was like, you know what, this is not, we're like, piles of useless gold! Still can't get to the unspeakable cave, that was not what I meant. People have new dialogue now. Oracle. You know, there was a Siren, Sadaka too. He was charged with various made-up crimes by Mayor Zahak. Really obviously fake stuff, too, like dangerous breathing patterns and criminal pet indoctrination. Poor man ended up fleeing to Billion-Toed City, but the new government hasn't dropped the charges. They say it's a long bureaucratic process, could take years. Treasure. Oh, that's outrageous! The treasure that belonged to the people, not to Mayor Penglog. I mean, this kind of thing is exactly why we kicked out greedy old Zahak. You got nothing new to say? How about you? Treasure? Mayor Penglong is clearly a great patriot who loves the treasures of his countries above all else. He has made certain they will not be abused by the masses. What about the Oracle? His reports about the Oracle are unsubstantiated and untrustworthy, and put our national economic security at risk. Shame on you for buying into them. Yep, when it doesn't suit your purpose, you just say it's nonsense. When it does suit your purpose, you say it's God-given. Oracle? Oracles are just another type of whistleblower, and whistleblowers are a threat to democracy. You can't have democracy if people don't trust their leaders. But you can trust your leader if you have whistleblowers who don't have anything to blow the whistle on, right? Yeah. You need a trustworthy leader. Treasure. Questioning the government leads to chaos. If the government says it's private property, it's private property. Come on, I need some guards on my side. I'm sure Hashim would be outraged, and he'd be right. It's strange how easily we accept the troubles of our neighbors sometimes, particularly when these troubles will also come to haunt our own homes sooner or later. Poor Pythia, to have her name besmirched by the villainous mayor. It seems our leaders have not the slightest shred of honesty. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure old Captain Pelagos will be quite disappointed. He's a lovely old stork. Did you know he helped me track down the elusive Cimmerian cinnamon? The mayor's lies are shameful, but this is happy news. The future is ours to shape. There are alternatives, possibilities, there's hope.
Salam, traveler.
We headed to the treasure.
What? Taking the people's gold is precisely the kind of thing that gets you bashed on the head by dwarves. There's only one dwarf on the Isle of the Moon as far as I know, but hey, here's hoping Mayor Pengalog learns a painful lesson soon.
Wait, yeah, one dwarf on the Isle of the Moon. That's where we came from.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, anyone who bases their policies on ancient prophecies, holy books, or divine inspiration is a dangerous fool. The most important thing I learned from the Masters of Stone was that the best way to judge a policy is by how it affects the people on the ground, so to speak. The mine workers, the farmers, all the people toiling to make a living. That's reality. Everything else is just balderdash.
Ain't that the truth? How do I get you a carpet? Do I have the carpet? Do I just have to use it on the Underhome? Treasure.
Ah, what a shameless scumbag. Penglog really thinks he can get away with that, does he? Let me tell you, arrogance is gonna be his undoing.
Oracle.
Have you ever noticed how panicky all these politicians are? It's like they know their power's built on sand. They'll do anything to make their actions look legitimate, because deep down they're terrified. I almost pity them. Almost.
I think I've said this before, but the window and this thing, whatever it is, looks like you're wearing a hat backwards. In here. I do not see carpet. Pixel look. Huh. Maybe I don't have it yet. I don't remember. But here it says, get a new carpet. Okay. Well, probably the rest of these.
Mr. Toast, you found the treasure of the tomb of the Timber Tyrant? Wow! And then Mayor Penglog stole it? Unbelievable!
But what a story! I hope this turns out to be a huge miscalculation on Penglog's part. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to see him in jail for misappropriating objects of archaeological value. No, he probably did it legally. Oracle. You went through the logos? That's brilliant! I knew Mayor Cranion won't acknowledge the truth, but the important part is that you ended the isolation of the Oracle. Well done, my friend! Treasure. We must ask ourselves, is Mayor Penglog breaking the rules of a functioning system, or is he acting within the rules of a system that produces undesirable results? Yep. That Mayor Cranion feels forced to dress up his claims in the language of prophecy is a sign that they cannot stand on their own. He has no arguments with which to back up his thesis but an appeal to authority.
Excuse me, I have a stiff neck.
The treasure.
Had this treasure been used to square the debt, would that not be in the long term have been the better solution? If the wealth of the people were increased, allowing them to purchase things once more, would that not benefit Lord Horizon's beloved markets? I do not believe the scheme would have worked forever, as whatever mechanism that created this imbalance would still exist. So perhaps this is a blessing in disguise for those of us who question the system itself. But why would Mayor Penglog not embrace an opportunity to avert the crisis for a while longer? Is he that greedy? About the Oracle. I had suspected that Mayor Cranion's calculations were wrong, and was even considering writing a paper about this. But as it turns out, it was not a case of error, but fraud. If a mathematician's work failed to produce results to such a degree, and he was discovered using such methods, he would be discredited in the eyes of the academic community. Will it be so with Mayor Cranion?
I'd have to hope so. Wait, isn't Tree Man? No, Tree Man is in a different place. What? Can I go into the... Can I find a bridge? Desert bridge? Now that I know it exists? Okay. Here I am. Spoken to you. Okay. What can we do now? Unspeakable cave. Can't go in like this. Well, we have a number of potions. Potion of awakeness. Feel refreshed and happy. Your teeth begin to slowly corrode away. That didn't go away. Potion of zibble. You feel zibbled. Leek. I don't want to eat it. I don't want to get it again. Homebrewed Sapporo. You can't drink this. It's illegal. Spice mix. So we have these. We need the salmon. We really do need that salmon. Too hard to eat. There are no horses here for you to call. It smells of the beach where you found it. The mouse wonders where you found it. Magic sword. You wave your sword around. It smells of electric piranhas. Do you really want to stick a sword down your throat? There are less dangerous things to swallow. The mouse uses the sword to trim some of its nose hair. Safety, scroll of recipes, sextant, stoneflower seeds, tomb key, translator, transponder mushroom. Oh, that's how we open the door. Weird potion. This happens. I still can't go in. Alright, can we talk to Shaman again? Because the quest log is not helping me. Unspeakable cave. Once you are within the cave, seek the silence. I don't know, man. Salmon of Wisdom. No. Go talk to people and see if we can figure out who told us about the Salmon of Wisdom. Perhaps his death can be made to mean something. Would he not appreciate that? I'm a little bit stuck. What am I doing? I've talked to everybody here. I've talked to everybody everywhere, I think. Haven't gone back to Shadowship. Oracle. My programming does not allow me to experience joy at the discovery of the mayor's deception. However, I am a defective. This discussion will be deleted. Democracy. We believe very strongly in democracy. We actively defend democratic values in many locations. With the help of our exploited democracy has dispersed and dropped from our virtual lid. All of thinking just sturge. Nice. Alright, there was a stone somewhere that I couldn't pick up, right? Was it Isle of the Sun? Here. Gateway stone. Oh, this is the gateway. Okay. Red salmon. Alright. So we could talk to people. The treasure. Classic. Someone else does all the legwork, then one of these politicians comes in and just claims it all for himself. You know what? I'm pretty sure that even if the treasure had gone into public instead of private hands, Penglog would still say there isn't enough money. Somehow, there's never enough money unless it's about him getting his skull polished or something. Alright, we haven't talked to everybody here about the treasure. Was it wise to seek this ancient tyrant's treasure? Can anything worthwhile be attained through the pursuit of gold? I do not know. Perhaps this failure will lead to a greater wisdom. Treasure. I don't know much about the Isle of the Moon, but that seems pretty ridiculous, not to mention illegal.
The people of Port Darug have every right to be angry. That treasure was in no way private property, and Penglog has no right to claim it.
It seems like laws are only for ordinary people these days. If we make the slightest mistake in our paperwork, we'll lose the tavern. But if some politician steals from the people, well, that's a different story. Makes my claws itch.
And a treasure.
I would like to express my full support for the democratic leadership of Mayor Penglog. Together, we will transform the Fortunate Isles into a prosperous, peaceful region.
Anything? I'm looking for red salmon. I might have to look up a guide.
Perhaps we should not ask ourselves whether Mayor Penglog acted against the law. After all, the law is seemingly no help against the foreclosure of Underhome either, or whether the laws themselves are just. If they are not, if they exist only to prop up an oligarchy, then perhaps these laws must be overturned. How else can we establish a state that is just?
Makes you wonder whether they even want a solution, doesn't it? Maybe the whole game is rigged to begin with. I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert, but I know what happened on the Isle of the Moon is not fair. Not fair at all.
Technically speaking, that was probably illegal, but I doubt you could win the case in a court of law, especially since Mayor Penglog signed a treaty guaranteeing all such trials would be held in Lord Urizen's courts on the mainland.
Alright, is that everyone here? Find my way back. Oh, you. Can't forget Medusa. Outrageous! I'd call Mayor Penglog a slimy weasel, but I know some entirely delightful weasels. Okay, is there anywhere we haven't been? We've been to the beaches. What about you? Treasure?
What is this obsession with gold anyway? You actually do something with the stuff?
Nope, it is just a medium of trade. And as a medium of trade, having more of it means you are higher status in life. Politics.
I prefer not to get tangled up in politics. Too many lies. Much better to just stay here with my books and my eyeball, admiring the beauty of the natural world without wasting my time on politicians.
Where do we go? Where's the salmon? Who told us about the salmon? Alright. Yinny's Island. Isle of the Moon. We've been practically everywhere. Have anything to say about the treasure? Mylish thinks it's not very nice. Mylish says if people want to eat that gold, the mayor shouldn't take it away. It's mean to make people hungry. Where is this salmon? Where can you find a salmon? Why does it take so long to save? Wait. What is this? People once died to defend this temple to a god whose name no one remembers. We talked to you about the treasure? Nope. I don't understand why shiny metal is so important. No taste good anyway. Treasure.
That boggin' bald-head bastard betrayed us all.
We talked to you about the treasure? Yeah. Where's the way out? I can't remember. I just wanted to get to the octopus.
It is as it's always been. The real pirates are the ones who change the laws to steal from the poor.
Oh, hello. I don't understand this at all. Why couldn't we keep the treasure? If it could have solved our problems, why should Mayor Penglog get to keep it? I really don't understand. It makes me kind of angry. Treasure. There's no hiding from the truth anymore. We gotta throw this mayor overboard. Aye, we gotta feed him to the sharks and take back what is ours. I don't mean the treasure, I mean the island. You stole our treasure.
This is an entirely private matter that has nothing to do with politics. It's shameful and entirely typical of your kind of radicalism to drag personal issues into what should be a debate about the necessity of deficit reduction. I find this absolutely reprehensible.
Bye. Salmon of wisdom. So many types of fish know that just a few years ago, Mayor Penglog took over, he brokered a deal with a fishery on the mainland. Okay, so you don't have any clues. This is ridiculous. I didn't vote for Penglog so he could steal what should belong to everyone. I think I'm gonna pee in his bed. You gonna bash some heads in? Somebody told me you might.
By Durin's beard, to think all this precious gold, all these ancient wonders of the craft, stolen and smelted for profit. It's enraging.
It's just absurd. I don't know anyone had the right to own the petrified forest. Isn't that public land? Wasn't there a law forbidding anyone from owning it or building on it? Oi there. It's shameful, isn't it? I feel bad getting upset about it, because I'm not really from here. But I mean, what the hell? Does the mayor just want the problems to continue? It's like he doesn't care at all. Treasure. What an ass! You know he will keep selling everyone out to Horizon if no one stops him. More rumors?
Someone said Jack the Octopirate has been visited by aliens, but I don't know if that's true. I certainly didn't see any alien droppings like you usually do.
What?
I heard if you asked me, it's just typical. It's partially our own fault, you know, for letting people like Penglog take over. But if it's our fault, it's also our responsibility to kick him out again.
Alright, how about you? Treasure.
He'll take it all. Take it and sell it to Horizon like they did back home.
So the Wikipedia page for Jonas Karatzis has like a huge list of games. Apparently, The Sea Will Claim Everything takes place in the Lands of Dream universe, which is... Sorry, I've been playing for so long, I'm getting tired. He has a bunch of other games in it that are text-based adventures. So I'll probably not play them, because not a huge fan of text-based adventures. But I'm out of places to search. There's nowhere left. But yeah, if you think this game is cool and you'd like to explore more of this world, there are some other games. I think they're free too. Anyway, I'm going to pause and look up a guide because I don't know what to do. Alright, so I looked up a guide and apparently we have everything we need to go to the Unspeakable Cave because... Just turn the visuals off. Which would have been so cool if I had remembered about that. But I just didn't think it would be important. That's the thing. Whenever you play a game and there's a mechanic, you gotta think that's gonna be important sometime. You gotta be looking forward to that time when you're gonna use it. Alright. Rawr. We'll get a game over if I... Gotta wait for the place of silence. These are great sound effects. Oh, so many paths. There we are, that's it. Quiet. Bam. You note down directions to a place called the Isle of Becoming. You can't travel from here. Okay. These are some crazy sounds. Gotta go to the Isle of Becoming. There it is. Oh, we do go to that one. Need the light on. It's icy. And then there's what is this geography? What? The landscape is unusual, to say the least. We're in the real Dr. Seuss land now. A strange purple plant. You haven't seen anything like it on the other islands. This tree is you've never seen anything like. A tiny creature seems to be sitting on, but it may be grinning. These plants look like they belong. This is neither a plant nor a mushroom. Looks like coral. Which is quite. Reminds you of... Oh, this is a neat place. Got neat music too. Jellyfish in the sky! Be careful stepping over these. Would make your explode. A swarm of flying. A huge magnificent tree? There's so many paths. Ah, there we go. It's got a very interesting... This plant seems quite content. Only the colored things have full text. It's like this place isn't even finished. It looks like some kind of... Hello. It's a landfish. A beautiful tree-dwelling eel. Maybe it should be called a treel. Bushes like this one seem to grow. These two plants. Oh, I like it here. It is not icy. Squishy! It's hard to describe what this plant smells like. It's definitely a smell of the sea, though. A tiny. If you touch this, it... Hello! It looks like there's thousands of tiny creatures living within this plant.
Welcome to the Isle of Becoming, traveler.
Tell me about yourself.
I am called Thalassa. From me all things were born, and to me all things return. I am always dying and always being born. Eternal change is my nature.
Looks like you lost a face tentacle. What about this place?
It is here that the future is born. You see its beginnings around you, unfinished, becoming. But it is not here that the future is shaped. There is no fate, and I am not a god. If you poison the waters, poison plants will grow. If you abandon kindness, unkind things will be born. If you surrender your future, you surrender this island and all the others that could be.
This is what you have come here to remember and to take with you to the isles that were once like this one. Scroll updated. How did it... Return to Sinjil Aegides at the Isle of the Stars. Oh, the shaman. Heh. Oh, this is amazing. And it's so short too. We have to leave before the music got started, really. Unspeakable Cave. You have found that which Hashim was seeking, a dream of the future. That is what he believed his city needed, and that is why he was murdered. This, I believe, is what his father needs to know, far more than which of the many guards loyal to General Unguma was the murderer. Yeah. Now we have to go back and find the person who first talked about Hashim. I don't know who it was. Watch, it's gonna be the person at the dock with the fishing rod. I'll just go there now. I don't want to talk to anyone. Aha! That sounds like my boy. I'd almost forgotten. Pain is such a big thing. It sits on your chest and it presses out the air until you remember nothing except what it's like to hurt. I always knew that the guards had killed him. It seems so pointless to, you know, but now I remember who he was. No matter what they said about him, no matter what they did, and I understand what he died for. How can I thank you for this? There really is nothing I could give you that would match what you have given me. Nothing at all. The very thought is laughable. And yet, take this small gift from an old fisherman. My son would approve. He believed in sharing what we were obsessed with. Collected all the ingredients for the soup of recovery, the salmon. Hashim. Once, when Hashim was very young, he came to me and asked why it was illegal to change one's gender. I tried to give some response in line with what the mayor always said. We should stay on the path we have always been on, for otherwise we might get lost. What if the path doesn't lead where we want to go? Hashim asked. What if there's another path? What if we think we're on a path, but it's really not the path at all, just the tongue of a big monster that disguises itself as a path so it can eat unwary travelers? I didn't know what to say. I was proud of him, but also scared that he might say something like that to the wrong person. So I told him not to think about such matters. I regret that now. Salmon of Wisdom! And there it looks black and white. It's ugly. What if I eat it now? No, no! You need the salmon for the soup of recovery, and who knows how hard it will be to find another. You use the salmon, nothing happens. There's a one hook-nosed salmon. Its smell is hard to define. There's an element of knowledge, but also the distinct odor of insight mixed with common sense. That and fish, of course. The mouse says it ate the cheese of wisdom last week, and anyway, it was already quite wise to begin with, and you know how annoying it is to be too wise. Well, let us be off. Back to Underhome. Up a couple floors. Into the kitchen. That's not the kitchen. Maybe we need to go down all the floors. Yeah. What do you mean I don't have anything to bake? I have the soup of wisdom. Or whatever. Recipes. Soup of recovery. Salmon of wisdom. Okay, in the kitchen. There we go. You brew the soup of recovery. It smells more than a little weird. It immediately starts making Underhome feel better. Now what? Get a new carpet. Return to Kalita to get a carpet. Alright. We're almost there, guys. That's not the right place. Can I have a carpet? What about the Isle of Becoming? Instead of solving the murder, you brought back something of the victim. You would be very grateful. Thank you. Thanks for the carpet. You did better than I ever expected. Here's that carpet you were looking for. May it transform your home as you have transformed ours. You got a new carpet! Yay! Everybody has something to say about the Isle of Becoming. I think I'll go look for my old cricket bat tonight. Very well, I'll begin planning the overthrow of General Umguma. Yes, this is a happy thought. Very happy. Should have begun weeks ago. You know, mathematically speaking, none of what's been going on in the Fortunate Isles makes any sense. We say austerity will lower the debt, but the truth is it increases it. We say putting the military in charge will stop violence, but in fact it causes it. Our equations make no sense, and this is only further proof of our error, an error that must be corrected before it destroys us. Yeah, people. Rise up with the mushrooms. Good day, traveler. Isle of Becoming. What an amazing journey you've been on, and what a bitter truth about our city that we have given up on the future. But as the creature said, there is no fate. We may change the path we are on. We must, in fact. Heck yeah. Oh, I wonder what spices will grow there. Imagine all the new possibilities. Well, if we don't ruin the future by letting young people like Hashim die for wanting to be free. I need to think about this, about what they've done and what we should do. I knew it. I knew all of it, I think. Not that there's such a place, not that there is such a place like the Isle of Becoming, but that Hashim wanted us to think more about what could be. Not just as individuals, but as a city, as a people. They keep telling us we can't change, but we can. The only thing in our way is them. Hello? It was one of us, wasn't it? I don't know. Hashim was trying to help and I'm not sure I can keep doing this. Yeah, swaying the guards. That sounds silly, but kinda beautiful. Why would anyone want to stop us from knowing about it? Please, enough of this utopian nonsense. Anything about improving the world is just utopia. You can't do it. I think you're making it all up. Your stories are preposterous and obviously nothing more than fanciful propaganda. I like being able to swing a weapon over other people. Is that everybody? Wait, what about you? It's a dangerous myth. What about you?
That sounds exciting. I'm always learning about the past, but maybe I need to think more about the future.
I've talked to you already. Let's head out of this very, very loud land. What about you? Nope. Nope. Can't travel from here. Well, thanks for letting me go. I'm about to start a revolution, but let me go first. Alright, so the only place there's people is here. Hey, traveler. So what's happening here isn't just messing up the present, it's also messing up the future? Fantastic. Oh yeah, there is somebody else somewhere. Thalassa. Yes, I know all about Thalassa and her ways. My dad told me when I was little. He was a sea god, you know. Where is this one? Cliffs? There you are. Treasure. Well, what did you expect? You can't just take a bunch of money like that. That's not how it works. Isle of Becoming. That place is probably full of chemicals. Better stay away. By the way, how about our quadricorder here. Okay, well, happily, there's no dangerous chemicals around you. Perhaps I spend too much time thinking about the past. I still have a future, right? I have a home, I have friends, even a few fans. Yes, my story isn't over. Thanks for reminding me, darling. I have to think about that. Wow, that sounds amazing.
You can learn the same lesson from cooking. The quality of the ingredients you put in determines the quality of the meal you're gonna get. And I fear the world we're cooking up for ourselves is entirely too bitter for my taste.
Thalassa. I think my grandmother told me stories about Thalassa, about how the world changes no matter what we do. But we can work to make it change for the better. It was a long time ago. I miss her. Any new dialogue about this? No. Description doesn't change. You won't be depressed for long. Especially if you join. I'm not in the mood to talk. I would like to express my full support of the democratic leadership of General Umguma. Together we will transform the Fortunate Isles into a prosperous, peaceful region.
So that is what they would kill to conceal. That the future is right here among us, rising from the sea that surrounds us. And so that future can change. It can be changed by us. Perhaps we philosophers have spent too much time describing the world, and not enough time trying to change it. The Isle of Becoming, eh? Can't say I can really imagine it. Probably don't understand all the deeper philosophical meanings and all that. But I know my father always used to say, you need to put good things into the world. I guess it's not just about you and me as people, because we've always tried to do good, but about the whole thing.
It's strange, isn't it? That there's such a resistance to change when change is so obviously inevitable. We all act as if the present was eternal, as if this is how things will always be, when history shows us that nothing ever remains the same. The question is whether that change will be for the better or the worse. Alright, that is the Isle of the Sun. It's time to go back to the Isle of the Cirrus. Greetings, mortal supplicant. You have a whole dialogue tree I didn't get. Delphine. I guard Pythia. That's pretty much it. A lot of standing around looking impressive, but very little to actually do. Few ever manage to get to this island, and even fewer are worth eating. Pythia. She's a good girl, seen a lot in her life. We talk, but there's only so much a human and dragon can do together, you know? Brian Blessed. Who is this Brian Blessed? Oh, I love Brian Blessed. He's not just a great actor, but a great man. He's climbed mountains, written books, explored jungles and ice wastes, and he's part dragon. Did you know that? I've always wanted to meet him. I may literally be his biggest fan. Might be a protagonist from another Land of Dreams game. Prophecy. It's ancient and eternal, but always changing, or something like that. I can't really be bothered with it. Dynamite Kid. Have you read The Dynamite Kid by Brian Blessed? It's a really great book. I've read it 17 times and it still moves me and makes me laugh. I do wish we had more books here on the island though. I don't think I read anything 17 times even when I was a kid and read everything over and over again. What do you have to say about Thalassa, or the treasure first? Sometimes in my dreams I feel an echo of the old tyrant. His greed, his desire to dominate all around him. But as terrible as his crimes were, there was a kind of fire in him, which these bureaucrats do not possess. Their ambition is tedious, their crimes banal. Thalassa. I see her frequently in my visions, but I've never spoken to her. You are very lucky. I think we did miss somebody here. Maybe? Or did we talk to you first? Okay. Now time for the Isle of the Moon. I think. Thalassa. She is Puppy's friend. Nice. What is it, traveler? If someone harmed my lad because of something daft like how he looked or who he loved, they'd soon come to regret it, believe you me. What do you have to say? Thalassa. Midas dreams of being big crab lady when he was an egg. All dragons have funny dreams when they're eggs. Hello. That sounds really nice, but also scary. It makes me happy and sad at the same time. I don't know how to say it. I'm not good with words. I know, man. It took me a long time to embrace change.
We regret the death of Mr. Hashim. It's tragic when young individuals embrace radical ideologies that lead to their own deaths by the hands of the police. Well, that does not mean we should accept partially ridiculous ideas like this Isle of Becoming.
Patently ridiculous.
No, we must remain pragmatic and deal with how the world truly functions. Meaningful change can only come from the invisible hand.
The invisible hand of don't pay attention to anything, just, well, no, because the invisible hand was of Adam Smith's market was about people looking for opportunities and trading and managing, you know, doing business with each other. What do you have to say about treasure?
Get a crap?
Ahoy, traveler. Twice I've heard her song out there, and each time I knew nothing would be the same when I returned.
Thalassa.
A huge crab-like creature, you say? Sounds delicious.
No. It was a spiritual being. Like you can't eat it.
I like to think the sea changes, but the mountains endure. And yet, we're all at the mercy of time. Even the mountains must fall. Someday, all the great halls of the dwarves will be nothing but dust. And yet, what you tell me of the Isle of Becoming gives me hope. There will be other mountains. We'll build new halls in which to sing the songs of our ancestors.
Still empty.
Did you know that my people dream of the sea? We are drawn to it because it is where we came from. I always thought this meant we were drawn to the past, to how things once were, but perhaps we're drawn to the change that will come. Hey there, how are you?
Isle of Becoming. How sad that someone had to die to reveal the truth. Indeed. I haven't talked to you about anything.
Idiot! Huge idiot, can't stand him. So angry, grr, should've watched him, too distracted, girl, won't happen again. Grr.
What about the Oracle?
The future is now!
Isle of Becoming?
Change all the time, nothing stays the same. Good, our life would be boring.
Oh, a bunch of stuff I haven't talked to you about.
I am sad that the Isle of Stars has been taken over by such people. But I hope they won't stay in power. The people have science on their side.
Underhome.
Excellent news. I am so pleased to hear this. Good work, my friend.
Any more rumors?
Someone said Jack the Octopirate has been visiting.
The same thing. I think we're done with the rumors. Isle of Becoming.
I'm not an expert in these matters, but completing another person's vision quest seems like a really nice thing to do. I'm sure Hashim appreciates it. She and I, oh, we danced upon the waves with the wind in our hair. She doesn't have hair. We danced. Those were the days when I was not drunk.
Well, maybe you'll have a few more days like that yet. Because we're about to start a revolution. Alright, we gotta talk to everybody in Underhome again. Oh yeah, we could have kind of figured out that she has tentacles from this picture. Comedy? I was going through Underhome's databanks and I found that a comedian I really like, Noah Fielding, did a show in his dreams with a comedy troupe from the kingdom of the enigmatic snakes called the Slithering Doubt. It was, well, I don't know. I didn't laugh very much, but I couldn't stop watching, and now I can't stop thinking about it. There was a sketch with a snake that comes out of a racist capybara's ear singing a song about fish, and then the capybara gets angry and votes for itself in a local election. But it turns out the election is for least racist rodent, and then I can't explain it. And then the capybara spits its racism into burning umbrella called lemon, and learns to sing. And the capybara and the snake perform this dance routine on the eyelids of the sun, and it goes on like that. I sure it was I mean, there are some weird movies. Oh, my throat is not liking this extra super long video. Isle of Becoming. The sea always brings change, doesn't it? Sometimes in beautiful ways, sometimes in terrible ones. But I suppose what really matters is what we do. Do we embrace change and the possibilities it offers, even if it frightens us? Or do we retreat from the sea and hope that we have reached the end of history? Well, I say one thing. I've never known the people of the Isle of the Stars to be cowards. Throwing out Mayor Zahak may not have been enough. It gives me hope that change can happen. What do you think? It's strange, isn't it, that people will make such a fuss over what clothes we wear, what names we call ourselves, what people we love? We're part of a world that's always changing, always becoming. Why are so many of us obsessed with putting things into such unchangeable categories? I know, right? You've done all you could to help. Time to talk to the about a more radical approach to Lord Urizen and his minions. Alright, we've finished our side quests. Do we have any more potions to drink? Goth potion. Ah, your GUI has gone goth! Oh no, how long is it gonna go? How long is it gonna be like that? Okay, we gotta eat or nothing. You eat nothing! Cookie. Nom. You eat the cookie, it's excellent. Flat potion. And is this gonna stay black and white for the rest of the game? That's disappointing. Pixel duck. You feel nimble. You just have to try everything, don't you? Potion of Awakeness, we've tried that. It doesn't go away. Stoneflower seed. Crunchy. Alright, our inventory is managed. What do you think about Underhome? You and Waikato did a really good job healing Underhome. Everything feels so much better now. Thank you, and we should definitely remember to invite Phidias and Dr. Custom to visit one of these days. Maybe when things calm down a bit. I'm sorry that you worked so hard to find that treasure and then it was all for nothing. Oh, not for nothing. Everyone here on the Isle of the Moon learned a valuable lesson. One that is bitter but necessary. Your dedication made that possible. Wait, did the colors change again? Or was this the way it was as soon as I drank the potion? My grandfather always told me stories of Thalassa and her many shapes, and how the future is created by the choices we make. That was one of the reasons I decided it was important to study. We can't make the right choices if we don't understand how the world works. Trying to make things better with ideology instead of science is like trying to repair a bicycle with a watermelon. Alright, who and what is left? Fish. Kiora, friend. We speak of her by another name, but she is the same force. Creation, change, eternity. In her, we are humbled and exalted. It's good to be reminded of that. Alright, the lizards have anything to say? Can we... Maybe the... Oh, do I open the front door now? I'm worried about ending the game. Eggs? You know what I found buried in one of the pots? Microphone snake eggs. Apparently, one of the mushrooms is going to start a band. I told him to check with me before he hides any eggs in the nursery next time. Mushrooms are crazy, I'm telling you. Katsuli. I've heard that in Katsuli, the land of cats, they grow a kind of small, hard fruit that makes a rattling sound when you touch it. When the time comes to harvest, thousands of citizens will head out to the fields and obsessively smack these fruits over and over until they've all vanished into various holes from which new plants will later grow. I wonder whether they can grow that kind of plant here for the subnanatory creatures to play with, you see. They're so cute. Hello, unsquirrely stranger. You got nothing new to say? All right. Where's the... There you are. Saying no. We have heard from people all over the Isles telling us they're ready to make a change. Recent events have shown us we have to get rid of our so-called leaders, because if we do not, they will ruin us. Our children and our children's children. We are ready to say no. It's time to say no, but also, you can't just replace them without changing the rest of the system too. You know, it's not just about the leaders, it's about the process that got them in power in the first place. You gotta put new systems in play. Saying no. There comes a time when people have had enough. Dang it, I forgot to save, didn't I? We will not give up our home. We will not give up our right to live with dignity. We will not give up our right to think and question and learn. We will not give up our right to be who we want to be. We will say no. No to the poor suffering to save the rich. No to the lies that tell us there is only the path of greed and cruelty. We will not apologize. We will not back down. We will assert our dignity with force. We will claim our rights. We do not ask you to change your ways. We do not ask you to reconsider your opinions. We do not want the same poison in a different bottle. There's only one thing we want you to do, and it's to get lost. Take your filth and your greed and run back to your master and tell him that these islands will never be his, because we stand together, and together we say no. Reject Lord Urizen's dogma. All right. Your journey is almost over, my friend. The first step has been taken. We've said no, but now we'll have to face the consequences of doing so. It's not easy to choose a new path, but the real challenge will be to keep it walking it. Urizen is not just an idea, as long as he has armies, and those armies will come for us. And so I will have to leave this post and dedicate Underhome's resources to the coming battle, which means that the window you're using will have to close. We've come to value your friendship as well as your assistance, but we must travel different roads now. I can delay closing the window for a little. However, if you wish to say goodbye to the people and places of the Fortunate Islands, return to me when you're ready. Alright. So that is, we gotta talk to everybody one more time. Done so many rounds. Thought, Eddie, goodbye. I appreciate what you did for us, friend, especially for us in Underhome. I don't know what's gonna happen to us now, but I know what would have happened without your help. This place,
It means a lot to me. And even an artificial intelligence going all emotional. It's silly, but it's true. Underhome is not just a place, it's my family. Thank you for helping me save my family. I hope there's a good home waiting for you back in your world. Hello. You leaving? We've barely gotten to know each other. I thought you were gonna move in with us. I suppose every window has to close sooner or later. Maybe someday I'll go back home to my own planet too. Maybe. Alright, there's so many people, so many places. I don't remember if there's things in these doors. People around. There's nothing on the bottom floor. Thank you for what you did to help us. It can't have been easy running around trying to find all the ingredients and tools and information needed to get Underhome back on its feet. We'll do our best to keep it from being in such danger again. It won't be easy with what's coming, but I feel we've got a chance. Underhome belongs to this land, and so do we, no matter where we were born. That gives us strength. I hope it'll give you some too, back in your world. I'm sure you'll have battles of your own to fight. Well, I guess now is a good time for final thoughts, eh? In between conversations. It's good to be home. You know, cynics of a particular kind are always going on about how people are so selfish and mean. I've come to realize over the years that cynics say this just because it justifies their own petty selfishness. People can be foolish, they can be unkind, but they're neither as foolish nor as unkind as the cynics want us to believe. Look at me and a younger man with an older woman, and an interspecies couple to boot. And yet so many people have been kind to us for no reason other than the simple desire to help, like you. I'm so sorry that you have to go. I am very glad I played this game. It was a lot of fun, even if the text did drag on for a while. Hello, unsquirrely stranger, you great poof. Goodbye. I will not buy this goodbye, it is stretched. You stay? What's out here? Isle of the Moon. An eccentric old elvish mathematician lives in this forest. He visits Underhome every 21 days to have tea and crumpets with Eddie. Sometimes he brings his pet ferret, Alfonso. It took this mushroom a whole day to get up here. It thinks it may have seen a yeti on the way, up on top of the rock. This flower's really excited that Underhome is open again. Whee! These flowers are hiding something, probably a rebel bee. One of the foreclosure goons tore his shirt on this plant's thorns. The plant is very proud of that. This mushroom once visited Hyperborea. It was cold, so it came back. This anarchist mushroom attempted to set the goons who invaded Underhome on fire with a Molotov cocktail, but instead almost sauteed itself. Nope. I look at it from the outside. Okay. These flowers are wrestling. This communist mushroom got a bit scorched when an anarchist mushroom threw a Molotov cocktail at the goons who invaded Underhome. It disapproved of such vigilante acts. These berries smell of berries. These berries smell of cherries. These berries smell of fairies. These berries smell of Antares. The orange mushroom is rubbing some lotion into the red mushroom's scorched cap. This mushroom is a notorious prankster. We didn't get to see the goons. This tiny brown mushroom was named after the famous abolitionist. Which one? This mushroom inspired the song of ghost mushrooms in the sky. And clicking on these mushrooms is making me nostalgic for the beginning of the game. This mushroom is opposed to the concept of horizontality. This mushroom once uploaded pirated versions of significant Marxist text to the internet, drawing the rage of exploitative publishers working for Horizon. Well, if you want Marxist texts, they are available for free because they're in the public domain. And people have voluntarily
read them. Audio read them. Turn them into audiobooks. Hey! Door. I believe the door was designed by Hernando Mysterious-Druid to replace the original door, which was accidentally turned into a sonnet by Natalie Mysterious-Druid, who was a notorious experimental poet. Oh yeah, that seems like it could be bad. Spam. We kept getting these damn flyers from companies that buy cheap real estate. The Luxuria Incorporated, you know we care. Canis Proprietors, turn your assets into bassets. Hitler Homes, the final solution in real estate. Mammon Reality, a wealth of options for your future. I especially disliked the one from that Hitler guy. Most of them just contained incomprehensible rambling, but somehow his company seems to be getting more and more popular these days. Why is that? You know, I swear I remember this guy from something. It's not good. Yeah. Your directional arrows are getting really confused by this door. Alright. I think that's everyone in Underhome. If I miss anyone, you can yell at me in the comments. I will not load it up again to make a 5-minute follow-up video. Alright, let's go and see everyone. So again, I love the art. I don't think I've mentioned that. Drawing, it looks like crayon drawings. I love the way I love the way this game is set up, where you start out, you spend time in the home learning about the family and reading all the titles of books, and then you expand to the town and learn about the community. Then you expand to the local island and learn about the hermits and the people who live outside. Then you expand to the other islands, and as you expand, the depth of knowledge gets shallower, but the breadth of knowledge gets wider. And as a philosophy game, I think it's a fair precursor to the Talos Principle. You know, it's all about the ideas of change, and we've got what the future is, what we make of it, and you know, isn't that what every story is about? Goodbye. Oh, no, don't worry, puppy, see you again. You know, and especially, you know, this resonates with me and people like me because, well, I can't speak for anyone else, I guess. I spent so much time learning physics and learning about different philosophers and putting together theories in my brain of all kinds of things about philosophy. And it's important to remember that all of that stuff all comes back to the real world. And it's all gonna be, you know, how do things work? What makes things meaningful? You know, what do we do with our decisions to change ourselves, to help the community around us? You know, everything always comes back to the real world.
What is it, traveler? You done well. Leave Lord Urizen, his arm is to us. I've got my old hammer around here somewhere.
Alright, dragon. What about you?
Marlish hopes you like this island. Maybe you also liked Marlish? Marlish says bye-bye.
A young baby of only 900.
Hello. We kicked out Penglog. Can you believe it? Well, actually, I tried to kick him, but he disappeared. It's as if he never existed in the first place. Like it was an illusion or something. Very confusing. But everything feels a lot better now. I know there will be trouble soon. Maybe even fighting. But I'm a boar, and I was born to fight. At least I'll be fighting for something I understand. So don't worry about us. Just take care of yourself.
Alright.
To the chum? To the chalk?
What is there to say except that this old bird is very proud of you? Aye, that's all. Mayor Penglog is no longer in town, and he didn't want to redraw it without him there. You want some jellified mackerel? No, wait, you can't take it through the window to your world, can you?
Sorry, I would have liked to give you a present.
By Durin's axe, that was glorious. A quest for gold, a great betrayal, a mighty uprising, and epic battles yet to come. I feel 100 years younger. I only regret that you and I may not fight Urizen side by side.
Still empty. After all this. We have nothing on the quest log. Guys, we completed the game. That feels good. It's frightening to think what Lord Urizen may do to us, but it is also exhilarating that we have finally moved against him. Looking back at it, it seems this was the only path that ever offered any hope. I'm glad you helped us see this, but I'm sorry you have to go. Perhaps you will come back in a few years and try a subnetta for my tree.
Hey there, how are you? Oh, that sucks. I just found a really nice place to live down near the harbor. I was gonna invite you and Oi over and make hamburgers. Shame. Oh, nice. Oh, hi. Excited, great, victory, frightened, grave danger, sad. You going, but hopeful. I will be moving on soon too. Sometimes I find it difficult to leave places behind. I like Port Darag. Anyway, may your journey be safe.
Welcome to Oi's Inn. No more rumors for me, huh?
I don't know what comes next, my friend, but I'm glad there's a future at all, in our world and in yours. Maybe a year from now, this town will be enslaved or burned to the ground, or maybe we'll win, who knows, but we'll try, that's what matters. We won't just sit here and watch everything that we love fall apart. And that's how you should remember us, no matter how this ends. Yeah, I have the most horrible hangover.
Goodbye.
Urizen will send a fleet, you know. It won't be pretty. He's older and more powerful than folks around here know. But maybe I can do something to help. Like you helped Neve and when I should have been there for him.
Yep, it's time for you to do something to help too. That's everybody in town. Alright, can we go back to you? What do you have to say for goodbye? Your time in this world is coming to an end, but the echoes of your actions will be heard for many years. Fear not, for I am everywhere, and always with you. You say farewell only to this shape. The chameleon is awesome. Greetings, mortal supplicant. I sent Brian Blessed a fan letter, and he wrote back. I see you're almost ready to go. It's kind of you to visit me before you do. I have no great prophecy for you. The future is like troubled water. All I can say is that I believe the people of the Fortunate Isles made the right choice for the right reasons, and you were correct to help them. I think perhaps I will go live with them, perhaps die with them too. It is not good for those who see to be too far removed from the life of the common people. As for you, traveler, perhaps we will meet again someday. All roads converge in Wonderopolis. I don't remember this place. Well, there's nothing to remember, it looks like.
I'm a big sea monster.
Probably could have talked to you about the other stuff.
The water tastes better now. Did you do that? Thank you. Maybe when you come back I'll be bigger and then there'll be seals living on my back.
The ship is gone. Yeah, some of these are blank. Oh yeah. No, not here. Isle of the Sun, Hills of Helios, no. One of these beaches, yeah.
Good day, little one. Bye-bye, little one. Or should I say bye-bye? Get it? Haha! Little cyclopean humor there. Oh, Everyone who isn't a human makes puns about their bodily features that are different from humans. That is totally not written by a human.
The stone's still there. Never mind. Which one is it? Where's the... There you are.
Oh, Starry, you startled me. You're going, but the trouble's only just beginning. Do you know what kind of mess you've left us in? Lord Urizen's gonna kill us all! Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods!
Yeah, well, this is the kind of person where you can just... All you can do is let the world move on without them and hope that they see that they're wrong. And catch up someday.
Haha, we kick some ass, and I don't mean a donkey.
Goodbye.
I think there's a pretty good chance we're all gonna die, so you're lucky to leave. Don't worry, I'm not sad. I've rarely been this happy, in fact. Let them come. Would you like a melon? Keep thinking no matter where you live. That's what I'll do. The unconsidered life is not worth living, as I once said. I think I was right about that.
I remembered you. Didn't save you for last. Hello again. Maybe it's time I made a bit of a comeback, don't you think? I wonder what the tabloids will say if I turn Lord Urizen's soldiers to stone. Who cares? All that matters is what my friends think, and the people I respect, like you. Take care in that strange world of yours. How are you? Goodbye. I recently heard from my friends and I'm going back to my world soon. I don't know about you, but I'll miss this place.
Wonderful day, isn't it? If you ever return to the Fortunate Isles, know that you'll always be welcome here. There will always be a hot meal and a place to sleep waiting for you in the Antigone.
You are the spirit traveler? I'm not scared about the future. We've managed so far, haven't we? And our ancestors went through far worse. We can do this. It will be a loss not to have you around, though. Is your world in chaos, too?
Really, chaos is what our world is, but it may be a little bumpy.
What you want, stranger? I don't know where I belong anymore. If there's really gonna be an invasion or something, maybe I should... I don't know. I think I'm gonna fight.
Mayor Cranion is permanently unavailable.
Good to see you again, friend. We have done something remarkable here, my friend. What happened in the Fortunate Isles may change the course of history. Whether we win or lose, we should have shown the world that there comes a time when enough is enough. We have, as we said we would, asserted our dignity with force. We may be destroyed for doing so, but the dream of freedom that was rekindled here today will not die so easily. You are part of this, and we will always remember you for that. Be well, friend.
You know what? I'm gonna have a second portion. I haven't had a second portion in years. Goodbye.
There are hard days ahead, but we're used to hard days.
At least we won't have that idiot Cranion telling us we're lazy while he's selling our home to Urizen. Thank you for helping us get rid of him. If it isn't my favorite traveler, how are you? Goodbye. I was afraid that was going to happen eventually. I've heard about magic transdimensional windows before, and apparently they're very tricky to keep open. The must have been putting in a lot of effort. He and Neve are quite the couple, aren't they? Oh, listen to me. I'm babbling. Go. Fight for your world as you did for ours, and remember to read a book every now and then. Oh, this is a good ending. I like this. And there's such a feeling of it's a feeling of peace, strangely enough, despite the fact that it's going to get violent. Isle of the Sun, one island left to go. No, that's where we just were. Isle of the Stars, one island left to go. Hello.
Welcome to Sakura, traveler. Can I look at your map? I'd really like to know where the oasis is so I can tell people all about it. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Sakura is a changed city thanks to you. I think it's a better city now. If you can't be around, maybe someday you'll at least hear stories about what we achieved here.
I often think of my boy when I sit here. He loved playing in the harbor. Goodbye. I owe you more than anyone here. I can never have my boy back, but you showed me how to turn my wounds into weapons and allowed me to fight for what my son believed. What I too now believe. Perhaps that is equally beautiful as it is terrible. I would rather feel the bittersweet than the purely bitter. Yeah, the art and the music really painted this, and calling it the Lands of Dream, it does feel like a magical world. It's interesting, right? Because it feels like a fantasy world, but the way that everything interconnects, the economics and the philosophy, it feels realistic too. So it's not just a fantasy, it's kind of, it almost like fits into the slot of myth, right? It's where, well, no, I guess that's not quite right, because myth usually doesn't have economics or philosophy that makes that much sense. It's usually very poetic. Oh, it's you. How are you? Goodbye. Oh, my insides are changing. If the city has a mind, I bet that's how it's feeling too. Hashim would be delighted. Maybe you'll see him somewhere in your world. That's an interesting thing to say. Hello? Goodbye. It was Mukhtar! I found evidence that Mukhtar killed Hashim, and we've arrested him. He'll get a fair trial. We'll probably go to prison. I know the real criminal is the general, but Mukhtar accepted these orders and carried them out. We can't just forget that. Thank you for helping me realize that something needed to be done. Greetings, stranger. Goodbye. I considered giving up being a guard, but I know that soon a lot of fighting will need to be done. Who else is going to do it? Who will protect Nabil? General Jium Guma is not home. Turns out he was some kind of weird hologram. So of course that is metaphorical, as like the leaders being a kind of fiction that we feel like they're the ones who set the rules and we have to do what they say because that's just reality. And when we see through them, it's like, oh, they're actually, we don't have to be like that. So that's a cool metaphor. But story-wise, it doesn't really make that much sense. Maybe Lord Urizen is like projecting skulls into these places. Greetings, traveler. What would you like? Goodbye. I'm very, very grateful for everything you have done. Don't worry too much about us. We'll find a way of dealing with Lord Urizen just like we dealt with his cronies. Peace be with you, friend. The future's looking brighter every day. I know Urizen and war and all that, but also Ajlal and freedom and all that. Salam, traveler. Goodbye. Don't you worry, we're not gonna be defeated by anything Lord Urizen throws at us. I'll take my cricket back and send everything straight back into his face. Oh, it's you. Goodbye. You're going? Well, I suppose you have your own world to worry about. We can't expect you to spend all your time here, solving our problems for us. It was good having you, though. You accomplished a lot for all of us. Hopefully, it's also for yourself. Take care. I didn't do anything wrong. Goodbye. You're leaving? Oh, good. I mean, that's sad. All right. Mr. Toast, not Mayor Toast, Dr. Crustum. There's nothing to be sad about. Your own world surely has many good fights to fight, many problems that require your attention. We can take care of ours, especially after you helped us get ourselves organized and inspired. We'll miss you, of course, but no one should be sad today. Not me, not you, not anyone. We should appreciate this victory. Excuse me for not turning my head. I have a stiff neck. Goodbye. We're back on the path of reason, where we should have always been. We will certainly make many mistakes, but now we have the capacity to analyze them and correct them. Your actions helped to bring us here, and thus you have become part of the city, and the city part of you. In the end, one side of the equation is always the same as the other, and you're not really leaving. Hello, my friend. Goodbye. Only few we meet in life are our companions forever. We are grateful for the time we have spent with you and for the insights we have gained. May all your journeys bring you wisdom. Almost done. Almost there. Just one more. Be welcome in my tent, friend. My work here is also done, and I will continue my journey. Perhaps we will see each other again. Either way, it was good having known you. Alright, there we go. And just for a few final thoughts about the philosophy of this game. So, if you watched my Talos Principle 2 Let's Play, you would notice that I was a little bit hesitant to get into the philosophy at the very beginning. I mean, I like to get into it, but I was like, something about this doesn't feel quite like, feels like it's missing something. And by the end, I realized, oh, it's missing a discussion of power and class conflict. You know, it's not just about deciding, so it's I don't want to spoil the game, I guess, but like, it's a story about deciding what to do with the future of civilization. And it's all, there's all this discussion, but they barely touch on power and class conflict. And I'm like, man, this needs to be bigger. There needs to be more of this. And so I was kind of worried that like the writers didn't know about it. Like they didn't bother to think that much about it. But having played this game, it's very clear that yes, that is something Jonas does know about. And so it helps me to, I did end up liking the Talos Principle 2 themes and messages, etc. But yeah, enough about that. So then it comes up to the question of, what do you do when you have a society where the leaders are just kind of leeching off of the people? How much do you continue going to work and life as it is, and how much do you rebel either in non-violent ways and in civil disobedience, or when is the tipping point when it becomes appropriate to gather together for a violent revolt? You know, these are all important questions. It always depends on where you are, what are the power systems in your life, your work, your family, your church or religious gathering place, your city government, your state, province, region governments, and there's different times and different places for everything, and we all have to make our own decisions for ourselves, and each community has to make their own decisions for that community. And yeah, the future is made of what we do. And I, for one, am going to spend my life doing things for the future and what I can in my sphere of influence. And for now, that means playing video games. Eventually, it will mean writing. Oh, I haven't even talked to you yet. Eventually, it'll mean publishing books. It also means teaching physics well and being a good role model as a professor for my day job. Nice to see you again. Goodbye. Thanks again for restarting me. I really enjoy existing. Good luck out there. And I think that's everyone. I think we're ready to leave. It was a fun time, and it felt homely, and the music is nostalgic, and there were so many book titles to read. And I am looking forward to getting back into the Talos Principle with the Reawakened Remaster next month. It can't get here fast enough. Alright, I'm ready to go. Your journey here is almost over, my friend. Goodbye. My mind goes back to that old saying, the sea will claim everything. The words haunt me because I know them to be true. I wonder where this saying comes from. I'll have to look it up. Ooh, this is the best ending music we could ask for. We cannot rely on the glories of the past. Stories of ancient conquerors will not help us now, and all the gold in the world could not change what is coming. We cannot put our hope in prophecies and visions. We are neither doomed nor chosen by a higher power. Our actions are our own, as are their consequences. The future is always changing. It rushes toward us inexorably, like a great and terrible wave, sweeping away all we have known. We cannot escape it, though. Perhaps we may shape it. We all knew, I think, that there would be a price. You do not say no without paying one. There is no doubt that Lord Urizen's ships are coming. He will not simply let us go our own way. He knows that when someone says no, the word is heard across the world. He fears that. Our little islands will tremble under the might of his assault, and I do not know if they will withstand it. What is an island to the onrushing waves? What are a few people to the iron will of Urizen's machine-like mind? And there they are. But I will not give up hope. For all our foolishness, we are not lost to one another. For all our petty fears, we are not divided by the wave. In the end, we were never the islands. We were always the sea. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Transdimensional portal development, the Mysterious-Druid, Jonas and Verena Karatzis. The Wikipedia says Verena is Jonas's wife, not his sister. And it's Verena, not Vera. We'll try to remember that. I want to know how much of the, well, like what percentage of the games, of this game and the Talos Principle games was Verena, because Jonas really gets a lot of the credit. And you know, I don't want to make the woman fade into the background while the man gets all the credit. That doesn't seem right. All right, special thanks to all these people. Connection to the lands of Dream terminated. Thank you for your assistance. All right, bye.